Wow.
Trying to fucking record without me.
That old chestnut.
That's my go-to right there. If anything happens, fuck you.
All I'm doing is over here designing a gummy ship.
A gummy ship?
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Is that what it sounds like? Is that like some type of gummy bear?
Tell us about designing the gummy ship while I munch on this delicious French bread.
Well, in Kingdom Hearts 3, it is much better than in the other game. It's actually kind of fun.
So, what is a gummy ship?
It's just basically a ship that you build with blocks and triangles and other various shapes. Fly through the, worlds, the in-between and all that.
Is it actually like made out of gummy bears and shit?
No, but it has this like plasticky, rubbery look to it.
Ah.
That's kind of where it gets its.
So is there some kind of like bonus you get for building a better gummy ship than, say, a 5-year-old, or?
Well, you won't die.
Ah.
So that's always a
So there's like stuff
Adam's
attacking
played
you.
Kingdom Hearts.
Say what?
I think you played Kingdom Hearts before. I just can't remember now.
Yeah, I played a little bit of the first one. I played through it enough to know that it was not my cup of tea. I could see why other people would like it. Nah, I watched the cliff notes on the end of the first one, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's good. And then the second one came out. The second one came out, and I watched. My brother was huge into this game. Watched him play it, and I was like, yep, I'm completely fucking lost. I thought I understood the story. Nope, done. So
you're telling me for the 80th episode of the End of Time cast, which is going to be titled Kingdom Hearts 3 Review, you are not prepared at all.
I'm telling you, I won't be prepared because I ain't playing that shit.
Wow.
Kingdom, nah.
What if you heard a knock on your door and you go open the door and Chris is standing there with a brand spanking new wrapped copy of Kingdom Hearts 3?
I would have several questions. I'd be like, Chris, how did you know where I live? Why did you drive all this way? And why'd you bring this trash into my yard?
Oh, wow.
Oh, snap.
A gift horse. Shit.
A gift horse shit. That's right.
I don't think that worked out like you planned.
No. Okay,
somebody gifts you horse shit, you got to take it because,
So after the last episode or the last one before that, now every time that I say a fucking quip or whatever, now I'm questioning it. And I was going in the right direction with that one, but I second guessed myself, so I stopped.
That's right.
It's like I was a guy on stage, like I was like, I'm really gonna fuck this line up, and then I got out there in front of the audience and did the line right, but stopped and turned around, and all the producers were like, no, keep going, you did it, you're doing it, he's doing it.
Yep.
Oh man,
you gotta work on your follow through there, buddy. Don't worry, you get on my level one day, it'll be all right.
Are you trying to pull something from our banter before we recorded?
Oh, that's right.
To the podcast.
That's right. I'm
now?
Pulling the shit back out on you. Oh yeah, you like that? How I'll take your leftovers and recycle them, trash you publicly with them.
That's all you are able to do in your life is use my leftovers.
That's right.
For your betterment. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the End of Time. I'm Michael.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Adam.
And I wanted to save this toward the end of the episode, but I'm kind of happy about it, so fuck it. We do what we want on this podcast, right? You can also find us at multiple locations now besides SoundCloud. SoundCloud, until somebody cuts us a better deal for whatever reason, is pretty much going to be the website that we upload our podcast to forever. We are slowly in the process of we've already converted them all, but slowly uploading all of our videos to our podcast episodes to YouTube, which entails us converting them into a video format, which is no problem. However, and I know what you two are going to ask me, and the audience probably as well, but I don't really have an answer for you. We are also found on iTunes now. I don't know when the fuck that happened, Apple, but thank you, because Adam remembers I submitted this shit back when you were still on the podcast, so this was like episode 12. This is well over a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
I submitted our RSS feed and all the extra things that had to be done for the podcast, and from what I understood from other podcasters, and I mean the big fish that are the podcasters, they said, usually Apple will get back to you somehow. I never got an email. I'm sorry, the End of Timecast never got an email from Apple. I even went through my history of the 6 emails that we have, and Apple was not one of them. On a whim, Chris, on a whim, Adam, last night, I searched iTunes and in quotes, End of Timecast, and there it is. All of our episodes. So this is another cool thing. This is another cool thing that I'm learning about the internet. You figure I would have known this ahead of time, but I didn't, and I'm finding this out now. So SoundCloud is who we upload our podcast to, but there are multiple other ones out there that you don't have to upload your podcast to. You just give your RSS feed, and if they think it's cool or they agree to it, or you don't, talk about killing babies or something, they just go, yeah, we'll just, whenever you upload a SoundCloud, we'll just feature your episodes here as well. So not only are we on SoundCloud, guys, not only are we on YouTube, guys, not only are we on iTunes, we are also on Spotify now as well.
Nice.
I submitted that a few days ago, again, on a whim, and within actually about 3 days, all the episodes can be found there. So this is going to be a process for me that's ongoing. I'm going to keep trying my best to find especially as many free ones as I possibly can. And all this means for you audience is that there are going to be multiple places where you can get our episodes. I know that through SoundCloud it's a little cumbersome to download our episodes. I've been told that. I've also been told it's easy. I haven't tried to download them myself. I don't know about downloading stuff from iTunes or Spotify or YouTube. I will tell you, there are ways to download fucking anything if you just do a little bit of research. But hopefully we will find more hosters out there that will have just various ways as a convenience for you. If I tell you, if you're nothing but an iTunes person, which, I mean, that's you, it's all you, that, hey, go check out our podcast, you can find us on SoundCloud, that may be an extra step for you out of your way. Well, the more that we can get this out there, the more convenient it'll be for you to listen to us in your car, while you're working out, while you're walking your dog, while you're babysitting the kids, whatever.
So check this out. We will
continue to do this.
What if it actually didn't work out that way? What if that's not what happened? What if it's some dude that likes our podcast and is monetized it and is bootlegging it onto iTunes?
I'll tell you what, that would be a lot of work.
He's like, yeah.
And it would have happened. It would have happened pretty quick.
He's got 6 million subscribers, top rated podcast on there, and he's like, yeah, and he's just rolling in our money. That's what he's doing right now.
So Stephen T. Oregon, I'm coming for you.
Yeah,
you iTunes bastard.
He's got a bed made out of money. And he's just rolling around on it right now.
So this is, this sounds like common sense thing. I could hear, Castle Sotheby's right now going, dude, duh. This is the way it works. People basically host your feed. You don't have to re-upload to 20 different websites. You just have them feature you. So I'm happy about it. And again, just so I'm clear, and I realize I'm speaking for Chris and Adam as well, but I think we've made this clear on an entire episode. We're not talking about money here. Okay, I didn't go under the radar and get with Spotify and go, hey, is there a way where I could start charging people for these episodes? Can I get 2 cents off it? No, this is more about convenience. This is more about, I'm more concerned about the exposure, because at the end of the day, I want more people to hear us. I especially want more people to comment and email us and be like, you know what, Chris, I agreed with you about this. Or, hey, Adam, this game was great. You're crazy. Or, Michael, you're pretty much right at everything. And I'm glad that you're a host of the podcast. So, yeah. More to follow. We will post updates, and we'll definitely mention here on the podcast. The more avenues that you guys and gals have to listen to us, the better.
Mm-hmm.
I want to circle back to this Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff, because I know we're going to talk about it a bit in your week, but are Chip and Dale still the engineers of the gummy ship?
Yep.
Yes. It's crazy to me to hear you say that it's even better than the first two. While I didn't love the gummy building, it wasn't. I'll admit there's a kid-minded Lego charm to, I unlocked these 42 extra shapes. Now I can make something bigger, better. I can put a bigger engine. It had its charm. I didn't love it, but I definitely got some enjoyment out of it.
Mm-hmm.
What makes this better than those two? Like, how could they have made that better?
All right. So, in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, you get on your gummy path and you just kind of go down this, level, essentially, this on-rails thing. Imagine if instead you just had space.
Wow.
And you just flew wherever you wanted in this open space environment.
Wow. That's pretty ambitious for a Kingdom Hearts game.
This game does some ridiculous thing. It's just when you think you've seen all the things that this game is going to do, it's like, no, we have this mini game in here. You're going to play Bubble Bobble. Why not?
I'll tell you what, Chris. I can tell you're itching. I want you to start with your week, but before you do, I have a couple pieces of news thing I want us to go over.
All right.
Okay.
Nothing big. Again, I know we don't actually have an actual news segment, but I did see something, or I actually saw the video today, but I heard about it. I think Castle Super Beast was the actual place that I heard about it. So there was I don't want to call it a Nintendo Direct. I think it was a little mini Nintendo Direct, or it might have been just an announcement. Because I didn't see it. Of course, I saw it through YouTube. I didn't see it through Nintendo itself. That's why I'm confused on where it came. Anyway, where I saw it doesn't fucking matter. The point of it matters. So Shinya Takahashi, who's basically the head developer at Nintendo, did a little mini direct style Nintendo announcement. And I watched it today. I watched it about an hour or two ago. It wasn't long at all. You can search for it yourself. It's like 3 minutes long. And not directly quoting him, just paraphrasing. This was the gist of it. We at Nintendo take pride in what we do. We want to put out a good quality product. That being said, we have tracked the progress and current state of Metroid Prime 4. We've looked it over. We've seen all the working mechanisms, and we have said, this is not going to cut it. This is not what we want. And I think it was Blue. Was it Blue Plate? What was the name of that company? Damn it! I gotta look this up too. Sorry, not prepared. There were a good development team. They've done other games. I'm so sorry. I really should have looked this up because. Okay, well, I'll get to the news. If maybe one of you two can Google Foo for me real quick, who was developing Metroid Prime 4. Anyway, they said that no sponsor maybe, but Nintendo said this is not good enough. They didn't. It wasn't a blast. It wasn't them, shunning that company and saying we're severing ties. Basically, just what we were seeing that this thing was being developed, and I want to say it was like 50-60% through. It just wasn't cutting it. Now, that could mean a lot of things. Mm-hmm. It could be the combat they didn't like. It could be the graphics engine they couldn't like. They didn't like. It could have been the actual Metroidvania-esque stuff that they were making wasn't panning out. Maybe it was getting too linear, or maybe it was getting too convoluted. I don't know yet. I didn't get that far into it, and I don't know if any of those details have come out yet. But they said, game's not looking good. It's looking rough. We have scrapped it completely, from what I'm understanding. And we're handing the reins back over to Retro Studios. And Retro Studios is working Metroid Prime from the ground up. That's some big news, man. That's kind of unprecedented for a company to do that. I don't mean the severing, not just the severing, but also coming out and going, guys, we're sorry. It's not working out. We're going to do something else. Like I said, it wasn't a blast. Yeah, it wasn't a blast, and I genuinely like how this is a reach out and touch the audience moment. I don't think they had to do this. You got to know this has happened multiple times in the past with games, and You know, if it's just out of my ignorance, then I'll take that. That's fine. But I can't recall a company that's done this. You know, typically companies, from my experience, have just, you'll see a game at E3, and then 2 years later, you see a little bit of a different game, and then 2 E3s later, you see damn near an entire new game. And you're like, well, I guess that shit got revamped completely. This is Nintendo saying, yeah, we're doing this. So I don't think there's going to be a new release date. I wouldn't expect one. And frankly, if we're talking about Metroid, especially Metroid Prime, I don't need one. Just take your time and make this good, please. Because you got a lot to live up to. What I would like to see is Metroid Prime 4 to come around and just knock the fuck out of people like Metroid Prime did. Maybe a little hard to do because now there's a precedent, especially with 3 Metroid Primes already made. But it would be nice to see something like that. It also begs the question, this is maybe some stuff we could deliberate. I guess it's kind of hard because we don't have the hard facts, but man, I would love to know what the fuck was on that table. You know,
Yeah.
I would love to know what that demo was, because again, that's another level we don't know. This is if we're talking directly about the company. Okay, if we're directly talking about Nintendo, of course they had to have a build. You know, they didn't just see like a 5-minute trailer and they said, oh God, no, we're not making this a fucking MMO. Get out of here. They had to have seen like a game build 60-something% through, and they're just taking notes. Nope, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. You've changed this. And we may never know. I was gonna say we will never know, but leaks will happen probably, because this is gonna be hot, man. People are already wanting to know what the fuck was so bad that you scrapped it.
Yeah.
I'm not taking it that way though. You know, I'm not taking it as this company's bad, like they really fucked us over. They look. It's like going from it's like going from, say, Twilight Princess to a Breath of the Wild. Imagine Nintendo seeing that and going, the world's too big. The climbing thing. We just don't know. Like, what the fuck was so bad about this Metroid Prime 4 that they?
He's
cut?
like, it's like going from fucking Ocarina of Time to Link's Awakening. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Graphics are all of a sudden you get the preview of the new Metroid game and it's all in like 2D. And it was like gonna be like some kind of classic retro thing, but they just couldn't figure out enough mechanics or whatnot. Ends up being some kind of secret internet gem. We find out 15 years later.
So if this can't be right, but it's saying that Bando Namcai, Bandai, good lord,
boy, you fucked that up, didn't you?
I did, and I am
Bando
sorry because
Namcai.
They do pretty good work.
It sounds like
They do really good work.
PlayStation mascot.
Namdo.
Bando Namcai.
Alrighty.
Oh man.
Yeah. Just fucking.
So, if that's true, sucks. It sucks for the people that are on that development team and probably had a lot of wild, ambitious ideas. But at the same time, Nintendo comes in and says that we're not doing that. I can respect it. I'm not mad about it at all. I wasn't looking for Metroid Prime for any time soon anyway. But that's a hell of a knocker right there. That was really the big piece of news. I did pull up some other, ho-hums here and there. The new Piranha Plant finally came out for Super Smash Brothers, which is sure, whatever. Yeah, I didn't really see anything else that really struck my eyes. That one definitely did. Just having Nintendo come out and being like, hey guys, we're sorry, we're scrapping this idea, we're moving somewhere else. What a good company to be in the hands of. The Retro Studios have been there from the beginning, so I have faith in them. I wonder how they feel about it. I wonder if they were like, I wonder if the passing of the torch to Bandai Namco was more like oh man, we have been hard at this. Here you go. You guys can take the reins. And now they're like, oh man, you guys couldn't fucking handle this. All right, fine. We'll do it. or if they're like, yeah, this was our baby, give our baby back.
Mm-hmm.
Anything news related from you two before we roll in?
I have been pretty internet dark to avoid spoilers of any sort. So,
boy, understandable, and it'll play into my week a little bit. I kind of wish I was. I got back on the internet way too soon because I've already seen and heard some shit. Dude, guys, it's bad. Mm-hmm. It's bad when I want to listen. I have Giant Bombcast. I have Castle Super Beast, formerly Super Best Friend Cast. I have Continue Cast, and I know I'm forgetting one. The Easy Allies, if I did not say them already. That's 4 separate podcasts, and it's my eyes go fucking wide, and like I have my finger hovering over Alt F4, and they're like, "Yeah, there was this thing about Resident Evil 2 remake. I was in the hallway, and I'm like, I'm like, I don't know, should I? I feel you.
Yeah, I can't believe that was one of the things I saw. Kingdom Hearts 3, you know, Goofy betrays you, blah 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 blah. I'm just kidding.
No, it was.
But
oh gosh, you should have let your back open.
He's like, the Lannisters send their regards.
All right, that was a good one. I'll give you that one.
That was really good. All right, Chris. Let's roll into these weeks.
All right, so Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't come out until Tuesday, so there are a few days in between. So Saturday was an interesting day for me. Preparing for Kingdom Hearts 3, I was watching Carnage's stream, like I mentioned a couple of times. He's played through older games and watched movies for the older games, and had discussions with his chat and stuff where I was in. So it was a good chance to, get caught up myself without having to also play all the games, because there ain't enough time for that. So Saturday was interesting because I was watching that while also on Dragon Quest XI trying to grind out some casino stuff to get tokens to be able to buy stuff to use one of the methods to level up fast, so I could get that out of the way, because one of the achievements is 100%, or not 100%. Level 99 is part of the getting 100% on it. It's like, all right, I'll do that. And so I just had the slots going into casino, and I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything. So I go on Steam, I'm looking around, and on my feed, in my recommended, the little slider that comes up on the front page, there was a game, and I didn't even look at the name of it. Funny enough, I didn't know the name until after I bought it and I was already playing it, because I was just like, okay, this looks interesting. I was just looking for something to play. And it is called Dragon Cliff.
Dragon Cliff.
Yeah, name means nothing. So I'm pulling up the store page so I can read exactly what this says. It describes itself as a semi-idle game with deep and complex itemization/skill systems to support endless character build. So you adventure, kill monsters, there's talent trees, there's enchanting, reforging equipment, discover things, and assemble your team. So basically, you're building up to a team of 5 characters. You can choose any 5 out of your stash when you go out on these adventures. And the interesting part is the semi-idle part, because normally idle games, while you're offline, they progress. While you're online, they just automatically do their thing. This is a little different in that the adventures are the idle part, or the semi-idle part. So you go out on an adventure and you're going from screen to screen killing groups of enemies. It's basically anywhere from 3 to 20 battles, if you will. And then you fight the boss and you're done with that adventure level. This one is interesting in that it will automatically fight, and you can set it to automatically use abilities and stuff like this, or you can sit there and manually manage your people's special abilities. They'll still auto attack with their thing on their turns. It's a basically ATB system, so it just constantly goes, shows you the turn order and stuff, and that's okay. It's kind of unfortunate that aside from the regular attack, they only have one special, so you only have one option per character of something to do other than attack or heal, depending on the class of it. There are, I want to say, 20 classes in the game, they're not traditional classics. I think the only ones I would call traditional are the cleric, and I want to say there's the equivalent of like a fighter. But even when you have all your melee classes, they have something special about them, some stats different. Like the assassin is poison damage instead of just regular physical damage, stuff like that. I played this game quite a bit, and I actually left it running, so I have no idea what my actual time is. I left it running for about 72 hours just to see, how the idle part would work out if I did that. It's not a great game, but it is an interesting game in terms of mechanics. Looking at how they did mechanics in the game and combine them, some design decisions they made. There are several changes I would have made in the game, because like in a typical idle game, you choose your level you want to be at, depending on what game it is. But you typically can pick a level you want to be at, and then it'll progress through, or you can just freeze on that level and just do that over and over to grind one level. So you can't beat the next one, so you grind the hardest one you can beat. But you can also start at whatever level until it's auto fight, and progress through the levels. Something interesting about this one is you can choose any level to fight, but you can only auto progress to the next level if you haven't unlocked it yet. So like if I've unlocked the first 50 levels, then I can go to 49, hit auto, and it will never go to 50. If I go to 50 and put it on auto, it'll go through. So it's interesting decisions like that, and the skill system. It's an interesting experiment in terms of design. It's got very positive reviews, so a lot of people like it. I think that's why it popped up on my my thing, other than it's tagged with RPG and Idle, probably, because I played several of those. I don't know. It was an interesting little thing.
I want to pop in here for just a quick second. So I found what I was looking for with the developers. If what I'm reading is to be believed, there is a new slice, kind of like an upcoming. I almost said cobbled together, but that's very rude. A new ensemble of developers that's mainly pointing toward Bandai Namco that were developing Metroid Prime 4. The company that I was thinking of, I don't know why, I was thinking of Blue Point. They've done lots of great games, notably the new Shadow of the Colossus remake. Titanfall, they're known for that as well. God of War collection. So they've got a few good games. I don't know why I thought they've done nothing with Metroid. I don't know why I thought them, but just to correct myself there.
Okay. Yeah, so Dragon Quest XI, getting back to that was the main game I was playing while I was kind of investigating this. I haven't done a whole lot in it other than, kind of doing a little bit of the grinding. I went around and I think I was unlocking, finding chests I missed, and doing a couple side quests, but I still have a fair amount to do in Dragon Quest XI. Side stuff on top of finishing post-game just in general. So,
how much grinding have you done so far in the game?
Well, Saturday was really the only, pure grinding session I did.
So is it level grind, or okay, I need to get these rare ingredients grind? What kind of grind is it?
So the ingredients kind of come naturally as you're getting other stuff. The biggest grind was for the casino to get pips, which are items that instantly let you pep up your party member. And you can do certain combinations of peps to boost your experience, force certain spawns and stuff like that. So you get 8 levels in one fight if you do it right. But it takes if you have them, it still takes 15 minutes to set up. So it's, as long as you have them, it's worth it. My issue was the casino would not let me hit a jackpot. So I was sitting there grinding the slots for a while I was watching and doing other stuff. I was also updating my D&D, notes while I had the slots going in the background, and I would just Alt-Tab and hit the thing to continue when my 100 auto rolls or spins ran out.
Oh, God. So you had 100 auto things, and you still couldn't get a jackpot on it?
Well, the slots I was doing the jackpot on the roulette.
Oh, God.
think I talked about this last week. I might not have. I don't remember. But anyway, the roulette thing, there are certain methods you can use to try to increase your chance of getting a jackpot. The first time I went to the casino, I hit the jackpot in like 30 minutes. It was great. But I had spent those tokens on other stuff at the time. And now, post-game, I want to get, these other items. And there's still other things I need to unlock from there that you can only get in the casino's rewards. So I was like, okay, I'll go back and do it again. Like,
now let me ask you,
hours.
is this casino like... Is the gambling in this game like the gambling in like Suikoden 1, where it's like I just bet everything, and you just double your money. You just double your money instantly, like fuck you.
This is scary that you're talking about that.
No, you have, depending on the table, like at roulette, you have a maximum bet. The maximum bet in roulette is 2,000 on one square or one point you can bet on.
So you can't be like here's 90,000 GP. Let me just double my money or lose it all right now.
No, you can't do that.
Damn it. Game sucks. Never get it.
But yeah, so the jackpot is $1 million if you hit it. And like I said, I hit it in like 30 minutes the first time using a method. I actually didn't even really use the method because you're supposed to go in and out of the place and sleep and do the stuff to reset the RNG on it until, an NPC says a certain thing. And then you go in and bet on certain places, and based on the, history of the numbers, it shows you like the last 20 numbers it hit. Based on all that, certain times you should, bet and do it. Well, when I hit it in at 30 minutes, I spent like 25 minutes not getting the message from the NPC. And I was like, I'm screwed. I'm just going to spin for a bit. And then I won it. So I was like, okay, that worked out. This time I spent, and this wasn't even Saturday, this was earlier in the week, I had spent, I want to say 2 hours at the roulette and got the message actually for the first time. Still did not hit a jackpot. So I was very unlucky and that was very boring and tedious. So Saturday I was like, I'm not going to do that. After I did it for another like hour. I was like, okay, I'm not even getting the message now. I ain't got time for this. I'm not having fun, So I'm like, I'll just put it on the slot machine and let it auto roll. It will, if you have enough money to start with, you'll make it back after a certain point. You'll just keep increasing your money. It just won't be very fast, especially because I didn't have many tokens. So I had to start out on the cheaper machines, the penny slots first, and then I can move up to the $100 slots. And that, increases a little bit fast. But yeah, so that really, go back and answer your original question. The only grinding I've done is a little bit for levels and this casino stuff. I got tired of doing casino stuff actually, so I ended up doing some side quests that award the same thing because I would have needed to do them anyway. So that kind of helped with my stash of the items. I still need to go back to the casino at some point and hit the jackpot at least one more time for I think a side quest requires it. But I'm just not going to worry about that until I need to. I've got most of the unique items from there anyway, so I can just leave the slots on one day and do that. But I didn't feel like messing with it anymore.
There you
go. Yeah, so I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else I played until Kingdom Hearts 3 dropped. Am I? What am I missing? Oh, yeah, I sure did. I have 47 minutes in the game. That was also on Saturday. That was after I was tired of doing the Dragon Quest stuff, or before, I think. I can't remember. But I was like, you know what? I'm trying to think if I owned it then or not, or I just went and bought it. Either way. So I was like, you know what? Actually, yeah, I think I've owned it for a while. I was like, you know what?
What? Goes to check Steam right now? Like, what the fuck? $15 fucking dollars. This is just odd. It says I got it 9/15/2018. I don't fucking remember. I don't know. I have no clue. You should have said something if you did. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So
tells you how big my Steam library is. I just didn't fucking notice.
Yeah. So like I said, I played it for 47 minutes, really 45 minutes, if you will. Went around and I want to say I cleared that first area. Up to the point where you can buy maps, I think is about where I left off. So not a whole lot. It's a fun little platformer. I haven't seen anything really mind-blowing about it yet, but it's an interesting art style, and it feels good to play. Yeah. Yeah, it took some getting used to as well after playing a little bit of Messenger, and I had played Celeste all the way through the one game, so had to get used to the controls and things that did what. But yeah, I had no issues with it. I was like, okay, yeah, I've got a feel for it. I'll pick it up some other time. It'll be a casual game when I don't really have anything else to play. Mm-hmm. Wow. So I have that, at least installed now. So I'll pick it up when I don't have other things to do, which I don't know how long that will be. So Kingdom Hearts 3 came out Tuesday, and man, this game is a roller coaster. There are so many ups and downs to it. Overall, it's a great game. Solid as far as graphics. The graphic decisions, and that's exactly what they were, decisions they made on each world are phenomenal. The styles match what you would expect from that.
Interesting.
So, say a Disney or a Pixar movie has a certain style to it, right? And I'm trying not to spoil too many things about it as I talk about, so that's why I'm being vague. A Pixar movie
for a few reasons. Like Adam's not going to play it, so he says he's not going to play it. I
will not play it.
I have it sitting on my shelf, but I'm preoccupied right now, and I will get to it. And of course, there's the audience. So yeah, thank you for being spoiler minded.
So a Pixar movie has a certain style, and when you go to that world, you feel like you're playing inside the movie, because that art style matches like one for one.
That is so good to hear you say that.
Yeah.
Oof, man.
There are other worlds that are more realistic, and for the most part, they look pretty good. There are a couple things here and there. One thing I've noticed in certain styles, the hair, and I don't know why I've been picking up on this lately in games, but the hair looks a little off, like they didn't put enough detail into it or something like that. It kind of takes away from how great everything else looks on the screen. But yeah, graphically, great. The combat feels pretty similar to how 2 did. I would say it is improved upon, except for the stupid attraction. So attractions are a type of team attack. The other games had it; they're fine, and they have other team attacks in 3 as well. But these attractions are basically Disney rides that your characters hop into and then murder whatever's on the screen.
Okay.
So you just jump on Space Mountain and go fuck people up.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's something similar to Space Mountain. There is a roller coaster.
You get on the teacups and you just fuck shit up.
Teacups are in there.
Awesome.
It is terrible. It takes away from the game so much. You're on this awesome world, this realistic one or this Pixar one, and then you're in these flashing lights teacups.
Excellent.
I watched the first world because I already knew what it was from the end, or not the end of 2, but from the end of the game before 3, whichever the last one was. It actually tells you, you're going to this world in 3 is the first one. So I already knew it, so it wasn't really a spoiler. So I watched Co play like the first couple hours of the game, because that world is long. So as soon as he got out of it, I pretty much turned it off. So I watched him play that, and I saw these rides, and I barely touched them in my playthrough. Most of my uses of them were getting them off the screen, because they show up as basically your triangle button, and you can switch between your different triangle options if you have more than one special up at a time, which is fairly often. I would hit it and just spam L1 to cancel it. So as soon as the animation stopped, boom, I'm back to fighting normally. And I don't have that stupid prompt on my screen. I hit it by accident a few times, so I was very frustrated about that. They also make the game incredibly cheap. I said played. That's right, I beat it. 27 hours was my completion time. I played it on Proud Mode, which is the hard mode. This game is incredibly easy, even on Proud Mode.
Wow. I just want to stew in this for just a minute.
Yeah.
You have this game on the hardest difficulty,
Yeah.
and you completed it. And I don't care about 100%. You beat it. You went through the game in 27 hours.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about that, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How
much other content was around that you didn't finish?
I did not explore for chests. I looked as I went through, but there are so many places. These levels are huge. So I kind of got, I don't want to say overwhelmed, but I just kind of got tired of all the time I had to spend just exploring to find chests and I couldn't find them. So I was like, okay, whatever I find on my way through the game, if I see, an obvious path, I'll follow it, see if there's a chest there, but I'm not going to go searching anymore. So I have a ton of chests. I think I have like a third of them, and I could get the rest. I did some gummy ship stuff, not a lot, I don't think. So I still have, and that's what I was working on before we started, was going through gummy ship missions and exploring the areas, trying to find all the treasures that are on this little open space thing, and of course secret bosses and stuff like they have. So that was pretty main story focused. I'd say I have probably 3-ish hours, maybe 2 hours. Yeah, probably not more than 2 hours of time that I could say I could have trimmed off that.
I mean, I would honestly have to go back and look at my save files on my PS2 to see what I completed or finished Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 in. I may be exaggerating. It may not be that big of a deal, but this game has so much weight around it. I'm kind of hoping it has more to offer.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see how long Kingdom Hearts 2 took me. I think it was, I have 30 hours one week, 11 and a half the next. So that's 40 hours on critical mode, which is a step above proud for Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 3 does not have a critical mode. The guess is they're going to release that later. I'm guessing critical mode would have been longer, but like I was saying, even on proud mode, any little bit of difficulty that was there, because the level progression was not good between worlds. It would spike at a world.
Wow.
So it was, you'd have a little bit of difficulty at first. Like regular enemies would be hitting you really hard, but then you level up a couple times and it's back to being easy. Because levels are pretty fast. That may also be part of the problem. They may need to lower the experience gain rate and stuff like that. But I thought it was pretty on par with the other games. I think that I beat the game at level 30 something, 39, I want to say. 36 to 39, right? So not super high level at all. I beat Kingdom Hearts 2 critical at 50 or so, but I did side stuff before that and purposely tried to level up some because I was getting stomped at a certain part. I had no bosses that stomped me. I want to say I died a total of, and I say died, but these aren't all actual deaths because there's an item you can buy in the game that will give you one free revive. So I say I died like 6 times total in the game, but I want to say 4 or 5 of those I had the coin, so I got back up and finished the fight. So that didn't help the easiness. Not that I didn't mind it, because half of those times were stupid. Like I'm stuck in some animation and can't heal, and because of the way the animation is, I have the ability on, that prevents a combo from killing me, but it would be just enough break in the animation that count as a new combo, so I died. It was very cheap and, stupid. So I don't really count that as a big deal. That's more poor battle design, or move design, I should say. So difficulty's not there. God, I've been jumping all over the place. Like I was saying, the worlds, very large. Some of them, that's good. Some of them, that's bad. Some worlds, I'm walking through and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm tired of this. This is getting on, the same kind of feeling you get from Red Dead, where, okay, can I get to where I'm going already? Obviously on a much smaller scale in comparison, but similar feeling. Other levels, it's like, wow, this is huge. I can't get enough of this, exploring everything, finding everything, but it all depends on how you feel about that world in particular. There are a couple worlds that I just didn't, really feel. I just kind of moved through them almost as fast as I could, because I was like, I'm not enjoying this. looking at the story aspect as a whole, the Disney worlds, while the stories individually are for the most part good, and I say Disney worlds, but obviously there's other IPs in there as well. But I'm trying to think of how to say it. And I think part of this is just because I've come off of seeing and playing basically every game up until Kingdom Hearts 3 and to get prepared for it. So I was, ready for the story. I was ready for the Kingdom Hearts story. The next, part of Sora's adventure, not the next Winnie the Pooh adventure. So some of the worlds just felt like they drug on, and I wasn't getting enough meat for the Kingdom Hearts side of stuff. Not to say that, for the most part, the worlds were okay as far as their stories go. It was just not what I was playing the game for. I'd play a world for the, 5-minute cutscene at the end that would give some Kingdom Hearts, progression. So let's see. Later in the game, I'd say the last 3 hours are really good. It ended pretty good. I don't know if what I got was one of the secret endings. I don't think it was, but it's interesting what they showed. And now there's not complete closure. So it's like, okay, I guess they aren't done with the franchise. But it's weird though. It's weird because of the things they did resolve. 100% resolve some of the things, but opened up new things or left things empty that they just, touched on in this game. It's not any part of the game, any of the games up until this part, a new, plot hole. Not like they didn't have others to fill already. And then even like with the ending, introduced another one, or picked up another one that we thought was resolved. So it's, I'm not sure where they're going to go with it.
I realize this will be jumping on a limb here because I don't know. I do not actually have knowledge of this, but let's look at some facts here. This is Square Enix, and Disney making a franchise that, for whatever reason, whether we agree with it or not, convoluted shit aside, makes money. Prints money, rolls out money, and there's hype for this game. There's life-size replicas of fucking Keyblades out there you can buy at GameStop. I mean, it's unreal how much people love this series. Of course, Chris. Of course, Adam. Of course, they're gonna make another one. That being said, I heard people saying, and I believe I said it myself, that Kingdom Hearts 3 was supposed to be the ending. It was supposed to be the culmination of all this. It was going to be the payoff. Any other synonym thing that you could put on it, similar phrase you could put on it. I don't know if I ever read that actually from Square Enix. I never read that anywhere or heard that from a direct company source that said, yes, the story will end or the story will be wrapped up or the story will conclude or whatever. So, I mean, I was kind of expecting a big payoff, but man, that the evil little fucking money goblin behind that's going, of course not. Well, of course there's going to be more.
I won't say there isn't a big payoff, because there is. They just give other other avenues to explore. Something interesting to note, I think I mentioned in passing the last couple of weeks that there is a Kingdom Hearts mobile game, and there has been for a while. Now, the interesting thing is, this mobile game is canon. So you don't have to play the game. I watched the video with Ko on his stream. He went through another guy's explanation of it that has actually played the game and beat it, and it had, excerpts and little cutscenes from the game. It ties in, and it actually comes up. There are characters in it and stuff and everything that show up in Kingdom Hearts 3. And if you never played the mobile game, you would have no idea who these people are.
Wow, man.
And here's the kicker. The mobile game isn't done. So they haven't
As
finished.
in, it's an ongoing story, or I don't.
They have not finished the story yet for the mobile game.
This just, I don't know.
Oh yeah, go get your copy, Adam. Do it.
I mean, even if I was like, if this was like my thing, I would be really, really irritated. I think I've said this before. I'd be really irritated that they can't keep their shit in one place.
Well, it's not anyway.
It's not. These are. I mean, yeah. From the get go, this would have irritated me about this series had I not jumped off it immediately. The fact that it starts out here and then you go to a completely different format, console, whatever, to play the second game chronologically, then go to another one to play the next one, and oh man.
Yeah.
That's just, it burns my biscuits. It's like, come on, man. How are you supposed to keep track of this?
I'm hearing some activated almonds over there.
Yep.
The games were released on PS2, PSP, DS, mobile. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. And then, of course, the re-release on PS3. I think that had, I don't know what platform everything that was in that was on, and then the PS4 re-release that has everything in it. All the games, or at least movies you can watch for some of them that they didn't port over.
There'll be a fucking board game you gotta buy and play. Fucking God.
So, all that being said, 27 hours well spent. I'm gonna go in and 100% it, unless I run into some stupid wall with, bosses or something. But I doubt that's gonna happen based on how easy the game has been. I can probably just brute force my way through it. One of the achievements our trophies is getting level 99, so I'm sure at level 99 they're a joke. And I probably won't get anywhere near that by the time I finish the bosses, I don't think.
Shit.
I don't know. No. I haven't seen one.
Huh.
So, and I'm trying to think, I don't think the older ones did either, even on the newer version.
So no new game plus whatsoever. Okay.
You have your clear save where you can go in and it unlocks extra stuff and you can go do your thing. Yeah, so I'm still going to keep playing it. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, the story I thought was good. They just have obviously set up for some new game, whether that's going to be a main franchise game, Kingdom Hearts 4, or we're going to see a new offshoot, like Birth by Sleep and all these other types of games. I will say, I think, and this is just pure thinking, that it's going to be, a standard Kingdom Hearts type game with that type combat. I would like to see more of a Birth by Sleep system implemented, because Kingdom Hearts 3 has some aspects of it, but not the whole thing. Like, one of my biggest issues with 2 was that cures take up your whole MP bar. Kingdom Hearts 3 takes up your whole MP bar. Birth by Sleep, and I think I'm thinking of the right game. I have so many Kingdom Hearts games in my head right now, but it was where you had abilities equipped and you could use them. So, and they were on a cooldown. So you could equip 3 cures. Use your cure, use your second cure, use your third cure, and then as long as the cooldown on the first one was up, you could start curing again. So it wasn't spam. You couldn't spam it, but you still had more options than one cure every, 30 seconds or however long it takes your MP to regen. So, and I like the whole melding, combining abilities. You level up an ability, combine it with another ability, and then you unlock something else. You can level up and unlock something else until you're getting these awesome combinations of attacks. I really like that level of customization for it. It probably would have broken Kingdom Hearts 3 if they did it, even more than it already is on difficulty. So I guess it's kind of good that they didn't. Yeah. Any question?
Not for me.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I didn't cover that wouldn't be, spoiler territory.
So describe the plot in detail.
I have a good one. Why don't you tell us how much the preparation that you've done before Kingdom Hearts 3 has helped you?
Oh, a ton. There are so many references to things that weren't in 1 or 2. Characters that didn't show up outside of the side games. Major plot points that don't show up in any of them. It's a lot of stuff.
It's like, if you didn't play the trading card game, you have no idea what the fuck's going on for these 30 minutes right here. Damn.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, if I hadn't seen all the side stuff, how lost I would be. I think it would be, you know what? There are main characters that are involved in the story that you don't see in the first 2 games.
What about like high story concepts? Like, if it'd be like if Final Fantasy VII had like the materia system completely explained in like the phone game that only came out in Japan. That's it. That's just how I view this situation. It's like, oh no, we're trying to maximize the amount of dollars we get out by spreading the wealth around 20 different systems.
All right, let's ask this question. It's so good that you've already played through it and beat it because you'll have a good perspective on this.
Mm-hmm.
It is a fucking known quantity fact about this game. It is understood by now. If the average Joe has to know if they're getting into Kingdom Hearts, you got some homework to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a friend that says they want to go out and start playing Kingdom Hearts 3 and you don't guide them somehow, you're a shitty friend. Like that's the level that this game is. I was wowed. I mean, let me give you the childish response, okay? The child at heart response. Sorry, that's a better way to put it. When I saw Toy Story was going to be a part of this game, I said, okay, now I'm in. Because to me, and please don't spoil it, but to me, just seeing Pixar alone made me go, there'll be more. Whether now or later, there's so many other Pixar Incredibles, Wall-E, Cars. I can't wait. So that childish Disney loving glee made me go, okay. Point 2 was when I saw some gameplay, when I saw some of the battle, just the graphics in some of the battle scenes of Kingdom Hearts 3. I said, okay, all right, now I'm all in.
Yeah.
But I knew that there was going to be work that had to be done. I do have like 1.5 and 2.5 or something. I've got something.
Yeah.
But I've also been watching the videos of people breaking it down. I actually watched another one recently just because I didn't seek it out. It was there in my feed. But Barry Kramer, formerly of Game Grumps, he did a basic summary of Kingdom Hearts as well. I knew this was going to happen. I knew I had to do this. Otherwise, I just planned on stepping into Kingdom Hearts 3 and being lost. This is what's pissing me off now. Because I have heard from people that, nah, man, as long as you know Kingdom Hearts 1 story and at least we're told about the middle point between 1 and 2 and you know Kingdom Hearts 2 stories, the rest is ancillary. The rest is really throwaway knowledge. You're telling me that, nah, bruh, you need to know all that shit. Okay, that's fine. How good of a job does Kingdom Hearts 3 do on either filling you in or making you go, oh yeah, it's the sect of the 23 ninjas. Oh, you didn't know about that? Well, let me explain that to you so you understand. Does it do that? Or is it like, you didn't do your homework? Fuck off. You're lost. So sorry.
So real quick, actually, before I get any more into what it does or doesn't tell you, there is a catch-up video, like 10-minute set of little video you can watch that comes with the game. It's in the little theater thing you can go to that gives you a background on everything that's happened up to this point.
Okay.
All the relevant points.
Thank God.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm a little happier now. I'm feeling a little better. But and again, I'm asking you, Chris, because you've watched this video and you've done your homework beforehand. Yeah. Does that video do? It doesn't have to tell me everything, but do you feel that 10-minute video does a good enough job of going? Now you're caught up. Welcome to Kingdom Hearts 3.
For the casual player, I'd say yeah. Someone that's just going to pick it up for Disney and stuff like that doesn't really care about a lot of the minute details. I think it did a pretty good job.
I was legitimately getting pissed. I was getting that level of, did I just spend $65 fucking for this convoluted shit? Did I just drink the Kool-Aid, the whole gallon? Because I felt like I did.
I mean, hey, let's experiment. Hey, Adam, go play Kingdom Hearts 3. Watch the video first. Tell us how you feel.
Go do it.
Be our experiment, our guinea pig.
Yep. Your audience now, they're drafting tweets right now.
I tell you what,
comment section
if I can get one tweet asking me to do it, I'll do it.
And it can't be us three, and it can't be somebody we know directly.
That's correct.
I'll add that to it. It's got to be, if you are somebody that's never put a comment on the End of Timecast Facebook, now's your chance.
You can force me to waste $60 and I will go buy that stupid game and play it.
Producer talk here. You need to put a time limit on that. We're talking like within the next 2 weeks, the next 3 weeks. Because, man, If
Let's
we're
say-
129 episodes in, somebody's gonna be like, "Yeah, man, I know it's 2023, but get that game."
If they can do it before, let's say, March, so that gives them the whole
2019.
month.
Oh wow, you.
I'm giving
okay.
a wide window here.
And just to put some pressure on you, audience, he has. Let's get the list going here, Adam. He is working on Persona 5 right now.
Yep.
He has God of War.
Yep.
He has Last of Us Remastered. And he has Bloodborne. You could walk in and sweep his gaming destiny right now by saying, "Hey, Adam, go get Kingdom Hearts 3.
Actually, you forgot Dragon Quest.
Oh, and Dragon Quest. Sorry, I forgot it. Yeah, you could be that person that said, "Hey, I'm the guy that made you push everything aside because you wanted to see Goofy and the Syndicate."
Yep.
Oh, this is great.
Oh,
I
God.
love it.
I could never get into it. Goofy just immediately takes me out of any kind of serious plot. There can be no serious plot that involves Goofy.
He grows
See,
on you.
Goofy and Donald bring me in, believe it or not. At the very beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1, when you're doing the shit on the island and yada yada yada, when that shit cuts to Mickey's castle and you hear that understated da 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 da, I was like, "Oh man, come on, okay." Even if I'm not the world's
you wanna know what it
greatest
does to
Disney
me?
fan.
I was explaining this to somebody earlier. Take any serious moment from any form of media. Now, fucking put Goofy in it. And, okay? Just immediately destroys it. Just immediately. He's like...
As a protagonist party member, I get Disney could have picked a plethora of other ones, but think of who Disney and Donald are in relation to Mickey. If they want Mickey, well, it's obvious. That's an obvious fucking choice there of the Disney universe. If they want Mickey to be the man, I mean,
I can see them being recurring characters. Like, none of them are party members, but there are lots of recurring characters. I could get that. But when you're like, oh, we're supposed to be emotional right now, but I'm a big stupid dog.
Now, here's the thing about Goofy. He is a plot savant. You think of Goofy, you think dumb, right, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't know how much was on Kingdom Hearts 1, but Kingdom Hearts 2 in particular, he always spoke up and he's like, "Well, how about if we do the quantum computer, at this rate, and that'll do it. Gosh, that might be it." Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, that's brilliant." He is an amazing character.
You see, Donald's not any better. It's not just Goofy. It's Goofy, Donald, Mickey, Minnie.
You can
replace
like
the entire cast
funny.
of Game of Thrones with Disney characters, and it just becomes really, really bad.
Well, yeah.
It's just it's like I can't take the story seriously, even if the characters are playing it as straight as they possibly can. It's just one of those things for me.
It grows on you. It grows on you.
As I said, the Lannisters send their regards. And it's
Adam, I'm just gonna call you out here, buddy. You just need to stop taking shit so seriously, man. Loosen up.
No.
Loosen up a little bit. Go play some platformers, fucker.
Oh God. Man. How much platforming is there in this game? Because I know there was some in the first game.
I'm trying to think. It's not bad. You get some abilities pretty early on that make things fairly easy for any kind of platforming.
Mm-hmm.
You get your double jumps and stuff later on, and there is one part near the end that's kind of annoying, but you can make it easier on yourself. So there wasn't really any platforming that bothered me. Anything I wanted to jump, I could jump,
Mm-hmm.
If it was a double jump, it was an obvious double jump. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll come back for that later.
What I'm looking for is the spot where, I missed a jump. Let me backtrack 5 fucking minutes.
There are a couple of spots where you can fall, but they're not that many, and you have to be pretty off your game to miss them.
No, I am 100% off my game at any moment right now, because it's like, let me play for 5-10 minutes, get up, do something, play for 5-10 minutes. Oh, where was I? Oh crap! Oh, I was supposed to make that jump. Oh.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be pretty obvious if you're supposed to make a jump or not.
Oh yeah. So
yeah,
There are a couple moments like that.
Platforming issue.
Okay. That's good. Because I remember the first game having not a terrible lot of platforming elements, but at least enough to where it was like, okay, this could get annoying if you mess it up 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I
remember specific, like one little moment jumps out in my head, and I think it was like Tarzan or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
the tree.
It's
and I was like,
nothing like that.
I think that's where I quit. I think that's where I said, you know what? I think I'm done. I think I'm just done with this game.
Well, you just need to warm up your heart. Stop being such a cold individual. And stop picking on people that talk funny, you know?
Damn.
You know what, Adam? I'm going to give you that one. I will say, if you quit at Tarzan, totally understandable.
Yeah, that was definitely you mean I got to go back up this fucker?
Yeah.
Nah. Oh, and I got to collect everything on the way back down. Fuck you.
Nope. Yeah, that's probably the least fun world. I also didn't like the Alice in Wonderland one. It wasn't terrible, but it had moments where I'm like, okay, I'm tired of this jumping around and backtracking and everything else. Mm-hmm. This isn't Metroid.
But I do genuinely enjoy with a little bit of giddy, like, oh yeah, nice, cool. The level of effort that they go into to make the Disney parts look Disney-ish.
Well, that's because if they didn't, they'd get sued.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not the first time that we've seen Disney come in and go, you're not doing this anymore. You're fucking up. I'm looking at you, Star Wars. Oh, man. Adam, let's go ahead and have a side tangent here.
Oh,
supposed to have a new Star Wars this year. Do you think some lessons were learned? Do you think the fucking House of Mouse came down like looming over the directors and the producers going, you best not fuck it up like the last one did?
Oh, man. And it's so bad. It's so bad. I've heard a lot of behind the scenes stuff has been going on and like some complete retooling, but I don't think. Yeah, okay. Here's where I think they fucked up. They put J.J. Abrams in charge of The Force Awakens, and then they gave it the second movie to this other guy. Well, apparently this other guy's script was written before he saw The Force Awakens, so then he just altered his stuff enough to piggyback off that and create a new thing. That
makes so much sense. As shitty as that is to say, that makes so much sense that that's what happened.
Yeah, and so, I think that they should have had a roadmap for like the next 7 movies instead of not one between 1 and 2. So, I don't know how they recover from this. They've enraged the fan base the same way EA did by attacking the fans instead of accepting the criticism and tucking their tail between their legs, which is what all companies should do when the fans get mad. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is a recoverable spin they've put themselves into. We'll see, I guess.
I said that as well. That's not, I don't have any pure fact on that either. It's a common trope around here that somebody somewhere got a call from Disney's somebody somewhere upper chain of command going, what the fuck?
It's like, this thing was supposed to print money and we've got one that lost money. How did you do that?
Now that my memory is trying to work, I think I'm talking about Star Wars Battlefront.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
that shit that went on.
That's EA and Star Wars put together, and they fucked that up too.
Yeah.
But that was all EA.
I heard that went even higher because Star Wars belongs to Disney now, that Disney came knocking going, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You are making a bad name for Disney now. No, we don't do that.
Yeah, I will, as big as you think EA is, Disney will crush them.
Oh, yeah.
Disney is not fucking with
blood.
You.
They pinch and squeeze blood.
So
yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. You know what? I want to know this, Adam. Are you planning on even going to see this movie? Wait a minute. Whoa. Pause. Time out. Am I losing my shit right now? It is February of 2019. We are supposed to have a new Star Wars movie somewhere toward the latter part, if not the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen anything about that movie yet. No trailer, no anything. Now, granted, I haven't been diving for it, but no trailer now.
Nope.
Not
that I've seen.
We don't even know what the fucking movie's gonna be about. We don't know what it's gonna be like.
It's gonna be about the fact that they killed off everybody and there's nothing left to talk about.
Yeah.
That's it.
It'll be
gonna be Star Wars. They're just gonna show the credits and then just empty space. It's like not much was happening in the galaxy during this period.
What was her
December
name?
20th.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got a whole year before this thing comes out.
What was the name of that fucking Mary Sue main character? Fei Fong Wong? Is that what her character's name is from Star Wars?
Yeah.
Shit.
Ray.
There we go. It's going to be 2.5 hours of Ray just juggling rocks.
Yeah.
Just
And see, that was the part that just absolutely killed that movie to me. Is in The Force Awakens, it was not a you were trying to get to know him, so you want the Mary Sue stuff didn't really come out until the second movie to me. I've heard people online go, I never liked her and blah 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 blah. Well, if you didn't like the first movie, that's just your opinion. Yeah, the second movie was objectively bad, and that's what has tanked the series. If you look at go back to the prequel trilogy, and Anakin was a horrible Mary Sue in the first movie until he developed flaws in the second movie. Mm-hmm. That's how Rey should have been treated in this second movie. Instead, she just whooped Luke Skywalker's ass, told him he was a bitch, and then proceeded to, go save everybody because that's what she did. All that fucking
training that Luke went through to build upon, hey, you don't know jack, but there is potential in you to be the man. She steps in and goes, I'm a man. I just have it. I just do it.
I was cool with where they left off because they were like, okay, well, at the end of the first movie, they beat Kylo, kind of, sort of. But you had one, obviously well-trained stormtrooper type, character who fought Kylo right before that. And he took a bowcaster from Chewbacca. So he took a bowcaster, fought a very good armed combatant. And then it was Rey's turn. And Rey just barely beat him. So, okay, yeah, I can accept that. I can accept that, she being, this is the first time she's ever held a lightsaber, and she did all right. She didn't embarrass herself.
Mm.
I can't handle her beating up Luke Skywalker under any circumstances without, massive amounts of training. This whole, if she'd done it in the third movie after training this entire second movie, okay, I can handle that.
Mm-hmm.
But her training was like, let me swing at these rocks and not hit them.
Right.
And then go whoop Luke Skywalker's ass.
I tried to make the argument. I know we've had this discussion before, but I tried to make the argument. I tried to make the Gohan argument. I just turned a lot of heads there, but hear me out. In Dragon Ball Z, my interpretation, my understanding of the power was that, so you got Goku. Goku's, he's a Super Saiyan, very powerful, yada yada yada. He fucks a human and has Gohan, so he's not even pure blood. I actually can't remember if Goku was pure blood or not. Yeah, he was. He was pure blood Saiyan. Yeah. So Gohan pops out, a half breed. Yep. Gohan, from what I was gathering, was way more powerful than Goku. Like, he had bursts where it was like, nah, I overtake my father. Like, I am way more powerful. I tried to translate that into Rey. The problem is, that's not how the Force works.
Well, the problem is that Gohan, it took like 3 arcs of DBZ for Gohan to come into that power. It was like, let me have this emotional burst and kill Raditz, okay? Then not be able to harness that again until the very end of the Saiyan Saga fight. And then again at the very end of the Frieza fight. And then his dad's like, you know what? I know this power exists in you, and we're just going to train the shit out of it until it's natural to you. And then he still doesn't have it when Cell shows up. It's not until the very end when he sees all his friends getting whooped that he goes, oh, there it is. And finally is able to control it. How many fucking episodes of Dragon Ball Z is that before that happens? It's not the second episode, I promise.
So then you translate that over to Star Wars.
It's not even the second arc.
Toward the end of the first movie, she's like, look at all this badass shit that I can do. That it took Luke a lot of fucking work to do.
At the end of the first movie with Rey pulls, after being severely wounded, pulls a lightsaber to her, turns it on, and whoops a Sith Lord's ass. At the beginning of the second movie of the original trilogy, Luke Skywalker almost gets eaten by a monster because he can't pull his lightsaber out of the snow.
Yep.
This is the chosen one. The one who took down Darth Vader.
But hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam, it's okay because in the second movie, everything's already fixed, you know?
And that, man, there's so many bad. If we want to just bash this second movie, I can keep going.
Do it.
Oh my God.
I love it.
You have a lightsaber that's got 7 movies worth of plot behind it. Yeah, they just toss that shit off a cliff like fuck it, and then rip it in half later on.
There were so many other ways to handle that. I'm a very dumb person, but even I could understand. I could understand what he was going for by saying that, by directing that scene that way. He was trying to tell Rey that, hey, you're fucking blind. You're thinking that it's all about this thing. You need to not worry about this. This means Jack. The Force has a much bigger, greater thing going on. The way that they designed that, the way that they made it, have Luke throw the fucking...
Let's play it off for laughs.
This is symbology right here. I'm going to take this very important thing and throw it away. Stop looking at the lightsaber, girl. It doesn't mean anything. Haha, we get a quick laugh. That was fucking sacrilege. That lightsaber meant more. That is an incredible piece of story fucking prop right there.
Yep.
That should not have been disrespected like that.
That was in the first movie. It was a big part of the first movie. It was in the second movie. And it was in the second and third movies out of the prequel trilogy. So, that movie had a lot of, that lightsaber had a lot of history behind it. Mm-hmm. And I mean,
that's like a,
they were kind of setting it up to be like a Force relic, you know?
Yeah.
And she was getting whispers from it, and it was guiding her towards Luke, and all these things were coming of it. And, there was a plot to be developed out of that. Just like, okay, well, she's hearing Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is actively trying to get in contact with Rey, So, wow, where's this going to take us? Fuck if we know. They ripped the motherfucker in half. Oh, yeah, and they also killed that main villain. Oh, and,
somebody right now just went, who?
And then killed fucking Luke Skywalker, and then...
If we're not fishing for comments here, but I honestly want to know if when Adam said they killed that main villain, if you legitimately said out loud or thought to yourself, who? Comment, please. Because that's just more fuel for that fire.
Yep.
That's good. That's great if you didn't know who he was talking about.
And that's the thing, is it's just like, man, there were so many things that were wrong in that whole scenario. And it's like he went out of his way to just destroy all the little plot hooks that had been set up in the previous movie. So
the whole ending scenario. Oh man!
Yeah,
real quick.
Yes.
Real quick for the audience wondering why is Chris so quiet? I haven't seen any of the new movies.
Oh, so
I've seen the original trilogy,
I am
the prequels,
so sorry,
and I haven't seen any of the rest. So
you've been saved.
You've been just I wouldn't watch them now. I mean, you can watch them and get your own opinion on them, but the first movie was it was good. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10 as far as like Star Wars goes on the Star Wars
entertaining.
Scale. It was entertaining movie. It was a good movie. Set up a lot of plot hooks. None of them got followed up. A lot of them got shot dead. Some very unceremoniously. I mean, it's like this. Who are Rey's parents? And in second movie, your parents don't matter. Fuck them. It's like, what? I mean, come on now.
Since you brought this up, Chris,
Yeah.
let me ask you: do you or did you have any plans to even watch these? Like, what is your take on these Star Wars movies?
Eventually, yeah. It's just a
Okay.
fact of me not watching movies often.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I am glad you said that because I was about to fucking put it up to 6th gear real quick because there's some shit to be discussed, but
Don't
I
stop
will
on my
refrain.
behalf.
Let's go. Let's hear it. What you got?
I just want to hear. I need to have Chris say, "Yeah, you can go right ahead and spoil it," because I'm about to spoil the fuck out of it if you'll let me.
I mean, I'd be more concerned with the audience than me, but
Okay, well, it's spoiler warning for Star Wars Episode 7.
I'll let you figure it out.
All right,
Talking about the
so there was
last
the
one,
prequel
8.
1, 2, 3. There was the regular ones 4, 5, 6, 7. This is Star Wars Episode 8, The Phantom Menace. Okay. So at the end, okay, let me build this up. Let me play storyteller for a minute. Shut up, Adam. Let me play storyteller for just a minute. So in the first movie, yes, you had this out of the fucking blue villain show up. He's a Sith Lord. He's the man. He's the Empire's guiding hand right now. And he has Kylo Ren, who you find out who he is, but he's his apprentice. There can only be 2 Sith, I believe, in the entire existence at a time. So, yeah, so this guy's bad. He's the bad guy, and he's super fucking powerful. He is a Force person, so he can do all kind of crazy, awesome, godlike shit. Fast forward to the second movie. The end pops up. It's the last scene ish. Here's Rey bound by this Sith Lord has Rey held by the Force, not with his hand out straining, just looking at her and just holding her in place like, bitch, I am so fucking powerful you can't do shit. And here comes Kylo, his apprentice, and she's like, hey, you need to fucking kill her because of blah 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 reasons. And he's sitting off the edge of his seat, I've had this plan in motion and that plan in motion, and I'm super fucking evil and super powerful, and everything that I've been doing for the past 70 billion fucking years has led to this moment right here. The Jedi are gonna end because Kylo, you're gonna kill Rey right now. Pick up that lightsaber and do it. My plan's coming through. And Kylo takes the lightsaber with him unbeknownst completely and turns it on and slices through him and cuts him in half and kills him. All that build-up, mind you, it was only 2 movies, but all that build-up for this guy being the fucking Ubermensch, he gets sliced by his apprentice. What kills me about this, really, really, really kills me. When I was in the theater and watched this happen, this is one of those rare moments where I was like, I understand that. I can make the story make sense. I can make that scene make sense in my head. This is a Sith Lord that has had all these machinations going on, and all these chess pieces moving, and all this shit coming into play, and it was all coming to right here. This is where the head was going to happen. This was checkmate, and he was so enthralled with checkmate. He was just so fucking cocksure that this is the way it was going to go, that he was drunk with control and drunk with this is going to work, that he didn't force feel Kylo doing that. I made that make sense in my head, which I've been told is wrong. But after I leave the theater and start talking to people, they're like, no, that is still stupid. That is the most aggravating part of that movie to me, because that should not have happened. There's no fucking way that a Sith Lord would have let that happen. And that's one argument against that over many. Nobody likes this movie.
I mean, look at Palpatine.
Was trying to make that thing make sense.
Episode 3. Look at Palpatine. Palpatine's like, oh, look, 2 Jedi dead. Oh, Mace Windu's gonna fight me.
2
Let me take
Jedi.
Jedi Masters going up there with Mace Windu, who was played by Samuel L. Jackson. go to confront Palpatine, and he's just like, let me immediately kill two.
Yep.
And take my time with the strongest lightsaber duelist the Jedi Order has had in centuries.
Mm-hmm.
And take my time fighting this guy so that I can turn this guy to the dark side intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the guy that got cut in half by the guy who got beat up by a person who had their lightsaber for the first time that day.
Yep. He showed up. He showed up and he fucking died.
It's just, Kylo Ren is a lot of things, but he has got a very vast deficit on the cool points. And, it's just, you can't look at it and think that these new villains are anywhere near the scale of the previous villains.
So now that was 2 movies. In the one movie, this fucker got introduced. He did his power plays, and he had the whole world going, okay, whoa. Adam, what is his name, by the way? I keep saying the Sith. What is his name?
His name is Snoke.
Snoke, okay. So Snoke shows up in the first movie. Snoke does his power plays and shows you, whoa, watch out. This is a bad motherfucker.
He could have been something after the first movie. The first movie set up all these nice little hooks. Like I said, there were lots of plot hooks left over for... Like, this thing could have fit together really well. I was like, man, Disney might have their shit together. After it coming out of the first movie, I was like, I'm really interested to see where they go from here. Yep. Coming out of this last movie? No, not so much. I didn't go see Solo because of this movie.
Yep.
It killed Solo for me. I was like, I don't want to see what they did. I'm mad at them now.
First movie comes out, guy gets introduced, guy gets power play. Second movie comes out, he sits there and stalls the whole time. All right, well, it's coming together. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Oh, I'm dead. So now we're rolling into a third movie. Who are we going after now? It has to be Kylo Ren. It can only be him. And are you trying to now tell me, since he killed off Snoke, now he is equal to or more powerful than Snoke? You're gonna build that shit over the fucking space between movies? No.
Yeah. That's what
you're
they're
gonna tell me.
You're
gonna take the whole movie to build him up to be that powerful, so he can and probably inevitably die in the end. No, again, like what can you do? They
really can't, and that's the problem. Is that what they should have looked at, and this goes back to the whole like I can't believe, and I'm not gonna blame Disney for this. A lot of people do blame Disney, but it was actually Lucasfilms that fucked this up.
Yeah, they're just footing the bill right now.
Yeah, well, Disney was like, well, here, you're going to print money, and we're going to pay for it. And Lucasfilms came up there and did not have a vision for a trilogy. And that is a cardinal fucking sin in my eye. That it was like, really... I don't know. It's just, it's one of those things where if they had just been, if they had just even thought about what the hell they were doing, it was like, okay, just come up with a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's all. You just need a beginning, a middle, and an end. And when we end right there, we're going to build up into another trilogy, which is going to be the crescendo, and we're going to have a whole bunch of massive payoffs. So it's going to be like watching the prequel trilogy and then watching the original trilogy all over again. We're going to build these characters up, the new characters and the old characters. This trilogy is going to be them passing the torch and kind of building up all the new threats. And then we're going to have, and I think that was a problem with the first film that I wasn't quite expecting. But I wish that they had done, because what they should have done is they should have started you off with the Galaxy of Peace and watched it descend into something terrible through these 3 films. And then the next 3 films, which they're, episode 10, 11, and 12 would be them recovering the light again. And thus you have the darkness coming back in and the light coming back in, and darkness and then light.
The
darkness.
cycle.
Yeah. But they didn't do that. They said, okay, well, here's this First Order. And I could handle it. I could handle the super on-the-nose allegory for Nazis. I could just be like, yep, you know what? They're fucking space Nazis. Got it. if the second movie hadn't just dropped the ball. And it was like, and it's like if a guy was like, how I look at it is if, you know, you have a player on your favorite NFL team and he's standing in the end zone wide open. The quarterback lobs him the ball. It's the easiest little 5-year-old pass that you could catch. And instead of catching it, he smacks it out of the air.
Yeah.
Intentionally smacks it out of the air. That's the kind of frustration I feel with Star Wars right now.
I had a conversation with somebody else recently because I hate talking about Star Wars with Adam because he's a sorry person to talk to in general.
Damn.
But
Damn. Damn.
No, I genuinely love talking. You're the guy that can get somebody into Star Wars. But if you're not already into it, and if you're not now, I completely understand why. But I was talking to him about this, and they said, well, think about this. This is what he thinks is coming up. The first set of Star Wars movies was a trilogy, and then there were the prequels. They were a trilogy. His theory is that since Disney has this now, and Disney knows that Star Wars is a thing, they're going, nah, fuck trilogy, sexology or quintology or octology. We're gonna keep this going. It's not gonna be a cycle anymore of 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1 through 8, or 1 through 9, or whatever. And I said, you know, I can see that if we're making Disney out to be the EA money munching machine that you think it is. But here's a problem with that. Several problems with that. The second fucking movie. If it's gonna be let's say it's a sexology. 6 movies. They want this to be 6 fucking movies long. They did 1. They did 2. Where are they supposed to go now? Are they gonna build up Kylo Ren all the way through the next 4 movies?
It's like they don't care.
Bring the fucking general that is he even alive? I don't remember.
It's like if they don't care if what this. It would be like if you wrote your own Star Wars thing and you pitched it to Disney, and then they came up and said, okay, well, you can come after episode 2. Here's where the characters are. Mm-hmm. And you're like, well, I've got to torpedo all these plot hooks I'm not going to use in my story, so let me just go ahead and write this away, write that away, write this away. Okay, here's my story. Because that's what Rian Johnson did.
Yeah.
He was like, that's garbage. Let's just throw that lightsaber down a cliff and then go over here and then fuck that.
If we're going to be walking into 4 more movies that are going to be rounding this out, I am at the end of the second movie and I have 17 different questions that all end in, so where am I supposed to go now? It's not I can't. When
you're not
watch
this
Avengers,
is not pre-Infinity War, you know.
Exactly.
You're not sitting there like, man, I wonder what's going to happen when this guy meets that guy. It's like, man, they killed Thanos. So what are we having another movie for?
What are we doing?
Thanos fucking died immediately, and they fucking made it to where nobody could ever get Infinity Gems ever again. So Chris, plot's pretty much done.
We're making your week really fucking long, dude. This is how you do it.
Oh, my week ended like 40 minutes ago.
I before you ended your Kingdom Hearts 3 discussion, I did have one more question.
Okay.
Another one?
Taking this bus, and I mean fucking hard steering back onto that track. This is actually very important because when you were making comparisons, you said the combat, and my ears were already up. I was like, what? I want to know. And you said it's about the same-ish. You seem very middle road-ish about the combat in Kingdom Hearts 3. I liked Kingdom Hearts combat in 1 and 2.
Yeah.
How is it just about the same? Is it a little better, a little worse? Describe the differences that you noticed that make it either bad, good, whatever.
There are improvements to it. As far as the feel overall while you're in combat and stuff, it feels pretty much like 2. The differences are like mechanically, like a quality of life improvement they made. You don't have one thing of shortcuts anymore. You have 3 things of shortcuts. So while you're holding the trigger, to access your combat shortcuts, if you press down and up on the D-pad, it'll cycle through another 4 options. So you've got more quick bar options. So like what I think is probably the standard is Your first one is, all your spells. And then your second one are items, because, you're primarily going to do spells for healing and whatnot. Your items are kind of emergency and whatnot. Or you might have one item on your main one, and then your second one can be the rest of But that was a very good quality of life thing. I'm trying to think. The party specials are a lot better this time around, I think. They feel more useful. Most of them. There's still a couple where you're like, meh. But you also don't spend ability points for them to even be able to do it.
Okay.
The ones I'm talking about, you're hitting triangle. There are other like automatic combos, like combo finishers, if you will. Or actually, I say if you will, that's what they're called. Where if Donald or Goofy are close enough to Sora, you will do a special combo finisher with them. Like Donald, you spin around as your finisher, and he covers your spin in fire. So you have this spinning fire attack now. So it's nothing really huge as far as, leaps from 2 to 3, especially with 2.8 or whatever it was. It was supposed to be pretty close to 3. I didn't play that, so I don't know for sure. But it wasn't like a crazy leap. It was a understandable upgrade without being drastic.
Let me ask the obvious question. Spoiler be damn, I have to know. When you kill enemies, do they explode into ball things that you can run around and collect?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's all I need. I'm good. Good. That's all I needed.
Yeah, all that's
Go
the
ahead.
same as far as, how you gather experience, orbs, and all that. Those are called prizes, apparently. I think they touched on it in 2, but 3, it's like, increases your prizes. And you're like, prizes? And then it says, like, HP prizes, and you're like, oh, they mean the little orbs. Because I think in 2, they just called them orbs. But in 3, they call them prizes.
Okay. Well, I guess then I feel like the last obvious question. So how impressed are you with it in general? Like, do you feel like it was money well spent? You enjoyed it, had a good time? Did it blow your expectations out of the water? Like, where are you at? I guess give it like a rough, loose fucking score.
So something to keep in mind when talking about Kingdom Hearts 3 is it has 10 years, 13 years, however many years of build-up for it. So it's hard to be fair to the game. I will say that graphically, it's phenomenal. It's a huge improvement.
That's good to hear, man.
Story-wise, for the most part, solid. There are, like I said, it's a roller coaster. There are moments where you're like, can we just move on? But I think the other games had that too. We're talking about one with Tarzan. That was one of those moments. I don't think there's anything that bad in 3. There's no Tarzan equivalent. There's no Little Mermaid for all the Little Mermaid haters out there that hated those in 1 and 2.
Yeah, I didn't like the levels, but I'm a big sucker for Ariel. I just did not like that very watered down wannabe rhythm. Oh God.
Oh yeah, and I didn't touch on this at all, but the controls for movement are better as far as swimming, flying, all that. It feels much better.
Okay, all right.
So I will say that first off, if you played 1 and 2 and you're interested in, the story, if you liked both of those, you should absolutely play 3. You don't want to skip it because it gives you, even though I said it opens up new stuff and does leave a couple things open, it gives a lot of closure on a lot of things. This is a complex plot, so any closure is good.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't played them, the only hesitation I have is you want to play the other game. Yes, there's that catch up, but you really should play the other game.
Yeah, I mean, just you're gonna get a feel from 1 and 2 anyway. Even if you walk away from 1 and or 2 and you're scratching your head to any degree, that's okay. You are in good company. You are in like company. Not everybody fully grasps that, but what you do take away from 1 and 2 is the charm and the appeal of those games. You get the feeling of what Kingdom Hearts is offering you, and it's a good judge to tell you whether or not you like that game at all.
Yeah, and I will say, if the plot wasn't so complex with all the other games involved, it would absolutely be a recommend. You know, if this was any other RPG and it was like this, I would probably recommend it. Yeah. So it's only because of the complex nature of it and all the other games. That's the only hesitation. I think it was worth my money. I'm happy with what I spent on it.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. Even it's such a weird way to put it. It's a weird thing to say, but your expectations are going to be high for this. Your personal hype level is going to be hype for this. But at the end of the day, with a third, though not the third and only third game in this series, when you're the third title of this franchise and you're still walking away with your arms in the air going, I don't fucking get it. If you can at least walk away saying, yeah, I dropped $65 on it, but at the end of the day, I did have fun. I did have a decent time. It was worth a playthrough. I guess that's a resounding recommendation. Now, if you had came out and said, man, I didn't even need to do the homework. They tied all this shit up perfectly and told everything in game and yada, yada, yada. Well, then I could see your hype. I could see you bumping it way, way higher because I could do the same thing.
Yeah. And just to kind of touch on it, because you just mentioned, you know, coming out of confused, the only confusion for me left after beating the game were the things they intentionally left open.
Yeah.
All the other stuff from the other games, I already wasn't really confused at all. You know, I've done my homework. As an adult, it's not as complicated as it was, 15 years ago. So I don't think that's an issue.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Well, now, oh man, that fucking Star Wars talk was really good too. This is the Kingdom Hearts Star Wars episode. I love it. Disney's like, yes, it is, you motherfucker.
Disney's like,
and it's totally relevant because people are like, oh, are we going to see Star Wars and Kingdom Hearts now?
Yep.
Yeah,
all right.
Like, it's just completely destroyed.
So, Adam, tell us about your week. I know you got a 2-hour one to go through. So
all right. So, part 1. The beginning.
God.
Now, I've been keeping up on my anime. Had a lot of, oh man, Shield Hero is turning out to be one of those great animes that's come out for this quarter. Good
Really?
God, man. I don't know if you remember my little synopsis of it from the first episode with him being summoned to the other world. And then
he got summoned to another world and he didn't.
he got like accused of rape, and then
that one.
He got accused of rape, and then some bad stuff happened. Everybody hated him, and all this other stuff's going on. Oh man! Well, spoilers for the rest of it. Or up to episode 4 at least.
Only episode 4?
Only episode 4, but they've already hit us again, and it was so good. It was so good. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I have not been legitimately mad while watching a show in a long time, but I was like seething the entire time I was watching these scenes.
On the 4th episode in. I am fucking intrigued.
So, after all that crap happened, he ended up getting, he tried to meet up with some more people, and he tried to, go ahead and get his little thing together. He had to level up somehow, so he needed somebody that could use a weapon. And people ended up trying to join his party, and a lot of people tried to take advantage of him, essentially. Like, guys would try to join his party, and he was like, okay, well, here's the rules. And as soon as they got out of, like, the tavern, they turned around and tried to rob him.
Mm-hmm.
So he beat their asses and is like, I'm still a legendary hero. I'm going to beat the brakes off you. You can't even hurt me. And he does his little thing, and he like, threatens the shopkeepers to get them to give him fair prices and stuff like that. And he's like, if you're going to make me the villain, I'll play the villain. That's how I'll do this. And as he's walking around in town one day, he gets propositioned by this like shady looking character, and he's like, "Hey, I see you have need of a party member. Maybe I can help you out." And he walks in there, and the guy starts showing him. He's like, slaves are a really good way to make sure that nobody betrays you. And he goes to describe how like they put this magical emblem on the slaves that like causes them physical pain if they try to disobey you or try to take actions against you. And he's like, okay, that's cool. And he starts showing him like these giant were creatures and beast men and stuff like that. They're all like hulked out. And he's looking at them and they're like level 87, level 65, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, I don't have any money. So I know how this goes. You're going to show me the good stuff and then hope that I come back here, right? Show me something in my price range. And he's like, well, how much you got? And he's like, I got this much. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, finds this like sick little raccoon girl like in a cage, and she's like coughing up a lung. She's level 1, has no combat capability whatsoever. And he goes, you know what? Fuck it. I'll take her. And they go and they put the little seal on her, and he walks her to he takes her out and brings her over and gets her some equipment, and they go out there and he's like, now kill the little level 1 enemies. And he teaches her how to like swing the dagger and all that kind of stuff. And they kill some stuff and they go back and they eat. And they have like this little rendition over the next couple episodes. And from episode 2 to 3, they show he takes care of this little girl. He like hears about her story, about her parents being killed by the evil wave of monsters or whatnot. Okay. And he gets all the herbs together and make potions to heal her sickness and stuff like that. He proceeds to go and train her to she overcomes her fear of the monsters and the combat, and they go around leveling up till they get like into the mid-20s in the level, and then the next wave comes and they fight it off successfully together, as a team. Mm-hmm. They kind of build up this nice teamwork thing. Episode 4 starts off right after that wave.
All right.
They're called back into the kingdom, and he's like, I don't really want to be here. They're having this giant banquet / party thing. He's like, I don't really want to be here. I'm just here because they're going to pay me at the end of this for completing the wave. And it is what it is. So she's running around enjoying herself, eating all the nice food, and she offers him some cake, and he's like, whatever, I can't taste it anyway. It is what it is. And here comes the Lance Hero. Lance Hero is the guy who the other chick, the chick that had accused him of all the stuff, she's in his party now. And he was
he was like taking her side and was like, oh yeah, you're a piece of shit,
called him a piece of shit, and he was like, yeah, I can't stand to be in the same room as you, much less actually fucking look at you. You're horrible. And so he's like, sitting over there, and he sees the raccoon girl talking to the shield hero. He's like, what's up with that? Yeah, the old girl walks up again and goes, oh, you didn't know? He couldn't get anybody his party, so he's got a slave now. And he goes, what? A fucking slave? So he walks over to the shield hero, and he like pulls off his glove and throws it at him, and he's like, I challenge you to a duel. And he's like, what? Why? And he's like, if I win, that girl goes free. You shouldn't have a slave anyway. And he's like, slavery's legal here, It's not my fault. He's like, well, that's still no way for a hero to behave. And he goes, well, I don't really give a fuck, so I'm gonna leave. So he goes to dip out, and the king's guards step in between him on it. They stop him from leaving, and they go, nah, turn around. And the king walks up, says, you will accept this duel. And he goes, fine, whatever. Cuts. They're in an arena. Once again, the shield hero is fighting all by himself against the spear hero. And the spear hero is like decked out for attack. This guy's like, I break shit. This is my skill. He rolls up there and he's like, okay, I'm going to have to fight the spear hero with only a shield because I can't use any other weapon. Luckily, throughout all this time, he's leveled that shield up and he's got all kinds of different little abilities and stuff he's unlocked with it. And he's like, okay, I think I can do this. So they start dueling, and the very first blow that hits, he blocks it. And he says, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have let me see that I can block your attacks because you've already fucking lost now. And he just begins doing all these like CC moves and stuff like that, where he's like, I'm going to trap you in this thing. And it's basically just like, I'm just going to keep beating you till you run down, regardless of how shitty my attack power is. So you might as well just quit. Mm-hmm. And as he's got this guy trapped, suddenly like a burst of energy like hits him in the back. And he's like, he gets knocked to the ground. The CC breaks. The spear hero comes out of the little bubble he was trapped in. And as he kind of gets back up to one knee, the spear hero just smokes him straight through the chest. So the duel is stopped. And he's sitting there, he's down on his knees coughing, and he's like, what the fuck? You're just gonna cheat? Is that how you're gonna win? Are you just gonna cheat me? And he goes, I didn't cheat you. And he looks back and he's like, did nobody else see me get hit by something? The entire crowd is silent. That chick is just sitting there smirking in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
The king is like, I didn't see nothing. And so he begins to like just utterly rage. He's like, really? Is this how everything's going to go? You're just going to cheat me at every turn, huh? I'm just going to constantly be sitting here getting cheated. Just over and over and over again. No matter what I do, how much good I try to do in this world, there's going to be somebody like you that just comes in to just kick this out from underneath my feet. I didn't even ask for this. I didn't want to be the shield hero. I was trying to live my normal life. But I tried to accept this role and I tried to fulfill it. And this is how I'm getting treated. I haven't done anything wrong. So they drag the little raccoon girl out right in front of him, and they pour like this stuff on it that, you know, magically removes her little seal, her little slave seal. And it shows like the little game display overlay kind of thing, the little HUD. And it shows his name up at the top and her name like sub underneath it to show she's a member of the party. And you watch that slowly get erased.
Aww.
Yeah. And he's just sitting there seething with anger this entire time. And they drag this scene out for what feels like an eternity. And he's like, he's going through that whole spiel of, I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. You're just going to fuck me over every time I get anything. You know, I can't even keep up because, you know, blah, 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 blah. And as he's doing that, it says, skill acquired. And it's some kind of like cursed skill or something like that. It's like a bit requirements met, skill unlocked. And you see like this little flame just burst out of his shield. And it looks like he's just about ready to kill everybody in this fucking arena.
Mm-hmm.
Right as that flame bursts out, it cuts over to the raccoon girl just smacking the living piss out of the fucking Lance hero. She's like, who the fuck asked you to let me go? And he's like, you're a slave. You're under his control. I understand that you can't speak ill of him, but you're free now. And she's like, you don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You don't know what he's done for me. And then the other two heroes come up and they're like, yeah, we're going to have to talk to you about you cheating, bruh. And he's like, I didn't cheat. He's like, no, what's your name? Smoked him in the back while you were CC'd. And he's like, is that true? And like the king and her are both just kicking rocks. He's like, yeah, it's wind magic, so most people in the crowd probably didn't see it. But then again, I bet all the nobles...
they saw it.
Yeah. He's like, I barely made it out because my blah, blah, blah skill is high enough. But, yeah, you're fucked. So, yeah, it was a giant emotional roller coaster this last episode. I was like, oh, God.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it was just, ugh.
So, as of this point in this show, you don't know why that false rape girl is doing the shit she's doing.
Well, they kind of hinted at it, that she kind of wants to get in the good graces of the Lance hero just because she kind of likes him. You know?
She's just doing shit.
She just wanted to make him feel sorry for her, and
everybody.
She didn't care who she hurt in the process.
Wow.
Yeah, and the king was in on it. So, yeah, more to come on that, I'm sure. So I'll have to wait till next Wednesday to see how that plays out. But
sounds like a very interesting anime.
Yeah, it was really well done. The whole thing was really, really well done, and I was just like I said, the whole time I was watching it, I was sitting there on the edge of my seat, like wringing my hands, like, "Oh the fuck, this is fucking evil." And these people are just, the world is just full of such shitty people. That whole world is just ugh. Oh, he the raccoon girl says something to the Lance hero that I thought was really, really good. She said, you know, hey, he's willing to take a beast person into their party. We're second-class citizens. I don't see you freeing slaves and making them part of your party.
Called out.
Yeah, calling him out and just, you know, totally wrecking his shit. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Couple other good anime that I've seen. There's a new one called Love is War, which is really, really fucking hilarious. It's about two student council members that are part of this really prestigious school, and the whole concept of the anime is that whoever is the first one to confess that they love someone else is the loser. It's like in all things in life there is a power dynamic that is, obtained, and it shows like this guy like confessing his love to a girl, and then 2 seconds later he's on the ground and she's got like a leash around his neck, stomping the back of his head. And she's like, and it's basically just a big contest. They both like each other. Like the two main characters, they both like each other, but neither one of them can admit it. And so they play these like 4D chess mind games, trying to get the other person to admit it. Like they get movie tickets, and it's like, maybe we should go. And he's like, oh, well, you want me to go with you? She's like, oh no, I just wanted to see it, and I figured since you were sitting here, it's like, oh, but I heard that's a love story. That's something you'd take on a date. Oh, well, if you think that kind of trivial stuff is, is that really what you want? Is that how you'd see it? Is it's going on a date? And it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's so good. And the convoluted ways they go through this stuff. Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
Sounds interesting.
Very funny show. Now, of course, you have a couple of the standard stuff. Just SAO is still continuing, Index is still continuing, and those are both good, and they're doing their thing. That's about it for the anime right now. As far as games go, I tried to play a little Red Dead, messed around, beat some people up. Not looking good. I gotta say, I'm just not feeling it right now.
Yeah, that's
just off the bat, not feeling it, and I'm not even past the prologue as far as it goes. I'm just I got in that first big shootout where I went around knifing people, and I'm just past that now, and I can't get into it. Something about it. As far as it goes, I mean, that's pretty much been my week.
I'm trying to remember the last time, the episode before last when you were on. Had you told your Persona 5 story?
Yeah.
I don't know if you did.
Yeah, I did the episode before that, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll roll into mine. I'm not going to spoil as much as I can because I know Adam hasn't played it. I'm slowly maybe starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe I can talk him into it, but I will be talking about Resident Evil 2 a little bit. Not the only thing I'm talking about, though.
Oh, God.
So, gaming-wise, I got, when we last left off, last episode, Chris and I had put a very small amount of hours into Resident Evil 2, and there was going to be more to follow. Obviously, I've got this thing in my head where I'm trying my best to make this game last longer than I know it's going to. I mean, understandably, Resident Evil 2 back in the day, the PlayStation, the PlayStation version, the original version, because I didn't do any homework and I'm a piece of shit, I understand. I don't know the exact time, but I think you could go through each campaign respectively in about 3 hours, roundabout.
It's like 2.5, 3 hours, if I remember.
Yeah, that's not booking it. I mean, if you didn't know where to go and you were just exploring and experiencing the game fresh, I could bump that up to about 5 or 6 hours. I could understand that, but there wasn't a super long campaign. I know that you cannot judge this game off of that for many reasons. This is a remake. Most of the layouts are the same, but the things to do are different. There are new quests to do. There are new side things to follow and track, new items to get. It's just a lot of this is new. So I don't have it in my head this is going to be a 30, 40, 50 hour game. It may, but I just don't see it that way. That being said, I was trying my best to drag the game out as much as I could.
Just milking it for everything it's worth.
Yeah. This is a super easy thing to do because I've mentioned on this show before that I've played like 4 games at the same time. Not literally playing them at the same time, but more like a couple hours in this game, a few hours in that game, maybe an hour in this game, and a couple hours in another game. Like, I'm pretty good at bouncing around when I want to. However, the only game that I was working on at the time that I wanted to work on at the time, I'm saying at the time as in last week, was Hollow Knight, because I was already into Hollow Knight. So I played a few hours of Resident Evil the next day after we recorded, and then I got to about, I don't know, maybe a couple hours in, and put it on pause and went and played Hollow Knight. And I still just can't. I just can't get over Hollow Knight, man. I like it. I like the atmosphere. I like the graphics. I like the understated music. I love the growth that your character goes through, the upgrades to your weapon, the multitude of charms that you get that offer all these abilities, the way that you can combine them to have. There are ways to use charms to absolutely break that fucking game. There are certain combinations of charms that I think, through either interpretation or maybe just further understanding the descriptions of the charms, you can combine some that just make you super powerful for many ways. I mean, you could have a crazy long amount of health. You could have attacks that do crazy damage. Just it's good to look up stuff like that. The level design is very Metroidvania. It's you have to grow as a character. You have to grow in abilities and things you can do to progress in that game. And this is my third time through this game, and I still feel like I'm seeing some things that I didn't see before. There are times where, like, there are NPCs that have certain little side stories or certain little side quests as well, and you have to kind of see them at a certain part of the game. If you do this, if you kill this boss, you'll miss them, that kind of shit. And I've seen at least 2 of them on this playthrough, and I'm nowhere. Well, yeah, I'm pretty much toward the end of the game. I know I'm in the home stretch right now. Kind of taking a break from it because I did, as well as part of this week, start ADGQ videos, and the first thing they played was Hollow Knight. So, not burnout in a bad way, just okay. I'm taking a break from Hollow Knight. I'm also taking a break from Hollow Knight because I finally started getting into those shake-up moments in Resident Evil 2 that I knew were coming. If I didn't say that last episode, then shame on me. But yeah, so playing through Resident Evil 2, I will say, just like Chris said with Kingdom Hearts 3, yeah, I've spent my money well on this game. It has not blown my expectations out of the water. However, it is living up to them. It's meeting them. And in some places, it is exceeding them. I am totally fine with spending the money on this game that I did. I feel it definitely contributes to the company. This is me telling them to go, hey, keep doing this shit. At a minimum, that's what it's doing. So, spoiler warning from here on out for Resident Evil 2. Chris, how much further into that game have you made it?
Fuck the tyrant.
Okay.
I haven't played it at all anymore.
That's cool.
4 hours in.
And I have fucked my time. I don't know where I sit because I thought I left my PS4 on standby. I didn't. I left it on, so I don't know. Maybe on Claire's playthrough I'll be able to give a better representation of what my time into the game. I want to say we're upwards of 10 to 15 hours. It feels like that, but who knows. Anyway, so yes, known in the fan base only because of the toy. Thank you for telling me about that, Pat from Capsule Super Beast. Mr. X, that stalks you throughout Resident Evil 2, is a tyrant. That's what he is. And oh man, this character, this fucking enemy right here. It has been a long time. I think since Outlast and Outlast 2, which are 2 very good, I'm looking at you, Adam, very good stealth slash survival-ish horror video games. They both take place in first-person perspective. You are hiding in shadows. You are holding breath. You are doing what you can to. You're using like your fucking camera as a way to see what's going on. Those two games have used stealth very, very well, and they use them in a manner that got me scared. Like that's crazy that a game could do that to me, but they did. Mainly because there are times in those games where you feel like you're being chased. You feel like you need to get the fuck away. That is what the Tyrant does in Resident Evil 2 Remake. That fucker will stalk you and find you and fuck you up.
He walks around taking the eyes out of statues and placing them in weird drawers and then locking them.
You're an asshole. You're an asshole. The first time, Chris, that I was walking on the second story and I heard my footsteps, bum, 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 and then I started hearing bum, 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 bum. I was like, what the fuck is that sound? So I looked down the stairs into the main lobby of the police station. I didn't see anything.
Safe zone.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I said, okay. I know I heard something. I know what sounded like footsteps. I kept walking forward. I kept hearing footsteps again. What the fuck? This motherfucker pops out of the room. Pops out of the door. Hey! Starts looking at me. Starts coming at me. Walking, mind you, but that's all this fucker needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I run the fuck away. I go in through a door. I stand still. Boom, 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 boom. Bam! Crashes through the door. Comes at me again. This fucker is relentless.
Yep.
And there is something to be said about a game that puts the sound effect of footsteps in your ears and gives you chills, gives you goosebumps. That was the first instance. I've ran into, my wife loves to laugh at me, man, but there was a time where I was playing and this fucker just crashed through a wall right in front of me. And I went, oh shit! And it scared the shit out of me because I wasn't expecting it. And I had to fucking fly by him real quick so he didn't take me out. I don't have the actual logistics because luckily, he's only hit me probably 3 or 4 times total. But I feel like if you are fine health, as in green, as in the maximum health, if he smokes you one time, you're yellow, if not red. And he knocks you down into a prone state, which that fucked me up later on. But he can fuck you up. He is.
Are there all kinds of like really cool kill animations?
If he kill, I've only been killed by zombies so far, and I've seen at least 2, if not 3 different eating animations, because they just eat you. They just start tearing you apart.
That'd be the first thing I did in that game, was walk him into every enemy I could to see him die as many times as possible.
Yeah. There's also a cool little effect that when they're eating you and you're dying, your screen kind of blacks in and blacks out. Like it's kind of like you're closing your eyes and you're dying. But so it's back to the Tyrant, the main fucking point here. So he can fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the fact that he can fuck you up. There are other enemies in this game. 2, these were the hooks for me right here. 1, I went into an area where there were other zombies around. I saw 3 zombies in this hallway. Okay, so I had ran through a hallway. I didn't use boards because I didn't have any boards left. By the way, Adam, you can use boards to board up windows so zombies don't come crawling through. I didn't have any boards for this entire hallway, okay? So as I'm going down this hallway, I'm walking past 1, 2, 3 separate windows, and I'm like, I know I don't have boards for them, and I know eventually that's going to bite me in the ass because zombies are going to come through those windows at some point. I come back through that hallway later in the game, and zombies start pouring through the windows. I'm like, well, I'm going to have to deal with that. I'm going to have to come back through here with some ammo later and kill them. Fast forward again. I'm being chased by the Tyrant. I happen to get to that hallway. I have to go through this hallway to get where I need to go because it's either track back through him or go through this hallway and just get around the zombies. and go where I need to go. This is the short route, so I'm gonna go this way. I go down this hallway. The fucking tyrant's behind me, just fucking boot kicking every door down to get to me. I get to the end of the hallway, Chris. I get past the zombies. One of them went to grab me, and I shrugged her off. No problem. I get to the end of the hallway. I want to see how far away the tyrant is. I turn around and look down the hallway. He is pushing the fucking zombies out of the way, like backhanding them out of the way. Get the fuck out of my way. I've got Leon Kennedy to get to. That's fucking cool. That was super fucking awesome.
I was thinking you were going to say he was like right fucking next to me when I turned around.
It could have been, because he can move quicker than you think he can. But you have to put yourself in like a PlayStation mindset. If it's his model up against a zombie model, they're just going to have that weird, awkward fucking moment where they're trying to occupy the same space and they kind of push each other. Despite the physics of the game, like I would see like a zombie kind of clip through a wall or something, or they would do that awkward dance where like they're both trying to go opposite ways of each other and they're kind of running into each other. No, this fucker made a beeline down the hallway and was backhanding these zombies like, get out of my way, boom, boom, get out of my way, boom, 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 move the fuck out of my way. Intense.
The tyrant was where my stress scale tipped. And after getting trapped between him and some zombies, because I ran into a new area, turned out to be a dead end because I didn't have the puzzle piece for that room to proceed. Or it wasn't even a puzzle piece in that one. That one was where I was picking up a piece, and I needed to go back the way I came, which I had run through 3 zombies running away from the tyrant, and I run back and I'm like, okay, yeah, and I had no ammo, by the way. So I have 3 zombies and a tyrant in this narrow hallway, and I'm like, okay. Yep, I'll try it. And I ran through, got killed, and I was like, all right, yep, I'm done. My headache is too bad. I can't take this game anymore. I'm stressing too much.
It has me to the point of I had to do this little room that it was a puzzle room that all the puzzle pieces were pretty much in this room. It was the bell tower puzzle. I made myself walk. I think I have something figured out about him, but I could be wrong. I know with liquors, because this was I haven't tried it yet, Chris, so just don't quote me. Don't do this and get fucked up and then blame it on me. But I remember in Resident Evil 2, if you walked past a liquor, as long as you didn't touch their character model, you could bypass a liquor because liquors cannot hear. So, they can't see. Right. That's what it is. They can't see. So they're going by sound. So if you're walking, your character model doesn't make any noise and you can sneak by them. I feel like I was trying an experiment, a super intense handshaking, like, oh, fuck, I'm about to get fucked over experiment. When I was doing this puzzle, I was trying to do nothing but walk. Like, I see where the puzzle pieces were, and I would run, and I would hear his footsteps. And I would stop, and they would stop, and then I would start walking. And I'm talking about barely millimeter forward pushing on that control stick, where I was walking and Leon was not making a sound, and I didn't hear his footsteps. I tried that a few times. It could be just the vectoring of his sight, his through the wall game knowledge sight. I don't know, but I managed to do that entire puzzle without him getting to me. And that's how fucking intense it is now for me anywhere I go. I'll be running, I can pull up the map, I know where I need to go, I just got to get from here to there, I got 3 doors to go through, let's fucking go. When I pass door number 2 and I hear another set of footsteps, I'm freaking out. I'm not freaking out, but I'm tense. I'm on my game because at this current place of the game, I don't have any shotgun rounds left. I have nothing but pistol ammo, and pistol ammo does shit to this guy. I've heard Pat say that you can actually watch pistol rounds ricochet off of his jacket. That they don't. He's coming at you down this hallway, and you're shooting bam, 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 and unless you're hitting him in the head, bullets are just pinging off of him. He's like, nah, that's not what's happening. So
I remember the first Tyrant and the first Resident Evil not particularly affected by anything sub, shotgun slash the Colt Python.
Yeah. The first time that I fought him, because I felt like I had to, and it turns out, no, I didn't have to at all. I could have ran around him. I think I had 6 shotgun rounds, 6 or 7, and I pumped every single. It was a long-ish fight because I was letting him get as close to me as I would comfortably allow, or getting close enough where, like, okay, he's about to swing at me, I need to move away. And I was intentionally damn near dead on aiming, shooting him in the face with a shotgun. And it took all those rounds to stagger him. I've been told that once he gets staggered, he's only down for about 30 seconds. And he'll get back up and come right back. Yeah. He'll get up and come right back at you. So it's essentially don't even waste your ammo.
Yeah.
The biggest takeaway from this is a couple times. I've had this happen a couple times in this game already, but it's where I know something I know something's going to happen because of playing the old RE2, or I kind of get an idea of where it's going because I played the old RE2. And then something like this coming along and going, it feels the same, doesn't it? But it's new. They have captured the horror. They've captured the intensity of having somebody stalking you through this police station. And it's fucking incredible. It's incredible. There was a time, Chris, where I was down in this basement area. I unlocked this area, which unlocked about, I swear I counted like 9 or 10 zombies in the same area, grouped together. And as I was trying to watch and negotiate how the fuck I'm going to get through around, like counting my pistol in the heat of the moment, we're talking maybe 7 seconds here max. I'm backing up. I'm counting my pistol ammo. I pull my menu up. I have no shotgun rounds. Drop the menu. Make sure I have all the bullets loaded in my pistol. I start popping off one zombie. I got to get brain shots. Backing up. I have to get brain shots. I can't get a headshot. I take one down. I start shooting another one in the head. The fucking tyrant comes walking in, pushing everybody out of the way. Fuck you, bitch. Now I'm here too. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Oh, fuck.
Will
They
he,
have
will he
captured
actually
moments.
kill the zombies?
I haven't seen that happen yet. I haven't seen that. But if you're in his way, you get moved.
So let's talk about the star of Resident Evil. Let's talk about the puzzles.
Okay.
So, how'd they up the puzzle game in Resident Evil 2 Remake? Are the diamonds shinier?
And Chris, you can chime in on this too, but I don't feel like the puzzle thing has been really vamped up so much, because many of the puzzles that I've come across are, you found this thing while you're trying to look for this key. You know you need a key for this lock. And in your progression of finding that key, you also found this item. Once you finally get the key, there's a puzzle down the hall that needs this key and this item. And oh, what do you know? You happen to find the place that needed this first item you found. There are a couple of ones that involve combinations to locks, and you have to find clues on how to do those. These are not super brain thinky puzzles, I'll tell you now.
No, they never were.
A couple of them can actually be brute forced if you really wanted to. I was starting to do that with one puzzle, and I was like, I won't want to do that. I'll go look for the clues and find it out myself. But I think I know what you're asking. I have played games where they have completely revamped things and like up the game, as you said. Mm-hmm. I'm really struggling here to make sure I got one right, because I feel that there was a puzzle or two that made me go, oh, well, okay, that's pretty cool. I will say that they've gone, while not overboard, Adam, they have gone a little bit further in explaining how these puzzles either get made or get solved. For example, call it a spoiler if you want, I suppose. It happens in the first maybe 5 minutes when you get into the police station, maybe even sooner than that. There's a video that you watch, a movie clip from a security camera, and it's a guard that's fighting off zombies in almost like his last moments, and he's backing up in this alley and backing up, and it switches cameras, and backs up, and it switches cameras, and he's like, he realizes in the video that he's about to die. He realizes shit's fucking game over. He holds this notebook up to the camera and goes, "Hey, Officer so and so," who I think you find out later he was his partner or his chief or whatever. He's like, "Hey, I found this. This is the key. This is the thing that we were looking for. Remember that door that we needed? This is the solution right here. And fucking, I'm gonna do my best to fight. But if I don't make it, you gotta find me because I've got some shit right here you need to have." And he fights and fights and he loses and he dies. And you can find that notebook later, and he's got solutions to it, as opposed to you reading something scribbled on a wall, or I don't know. They do a decent enough job in explaining the solutions they give to you. But there are still several where you're walking along and I found this cog piece. I wonder where this goes to. I'm pretty sure I'll find out later. But so far the selling point for me really has been the tyrant. I just went into the sewer area of the game. Oh wait, man, almost forgot. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna tell you what happens, but I did come across a little story cutscene movie / thing that was it was intense, man. Like, it was making me choke up. They've got some. I'm so up and down on the movie parts of this game. Man, the first time that Leon meets back up with Claire, they have almost like hey, how's things going? Oh, things are going good. Yeah, you come here often? Like, they have one of those, like, conversations, and there are zombies banging on the wall behind them, about to break down the fucking gate,
Maybe we should travel together, since, 2 people would be better in this scenario than just one. We could actually watch each other's backs and stuff.
I'll tell you right now, there are points that, man, if you're gonna CinemaSins this game, you're gonna fuck the game over for yourself. Wow. I mean, there are lots of points in this game that are like, dude, you could have just used a knife right here, or dude, you could have just used a crowbar. You tell me you didn't have a piece of fucking wood laying around to lay across this? I mean, come on. But if you let the game be a game and you try to have fun with it, and especially when the fucking the terror, not survival horror, but when the terror parts start kicking in, it started ramping up. The tyrant part, while yes, Chris, it definitely is intense and definitely anxiety inducing, has had me like creeped out. Like, oh, just fucking, when I hear those footsteps, I'm up. My radar is up. I'm fucking scanning and I'm looking. I need to figure out what the fuck to do. I am routing myself between point A and point B and going, that's a lot of doors to go through. That's a lot of doors to go through. God, any one of those, he could be on the other side. They've done a really good job of capturing the terror of having him around. More to follow as I go through this game. I will probably go through Claire's as well. I'm probably going to be playing it tomorrow and the majority of this weekend. As much as I'm trying to milk it, man, now I'm into it, and now I've got to play it. So we'll see. I am impressed with it. Like I said, it is a solid fucking love letter, as much as RE Remake was to me.
Well, let's talk about another love letter that should be coming out here soon, now that Kingdom Hearts 3 is over with.
Okay.
Guess what's coming out for the Switch? Final Fantasy VII.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're trolling me right now.
I am not. Apparently, a Switch version is going to be coming out.
Surprise. Moving on.
So, well, wah, Chris.
Wow.
It's already out and everything else, so why not?
I mean, they put Skyrim out for your refrigerator, so why not Final Fantasy VII for the Switch?
I did see man, I don't know, this probably tells more about me as a person, but there was a mod. I think I may have put it in our Discord. If not, I'll have to find it again now, but there was a fairly recent Final Fantasy VII PC mod that basically added some up texture to everything. It's noticeable, guys, honestly, if when they show the video that the trailer for it is like 15 or 20 different areas that they show the original PC graphics, and then they show the filter over the top of it. And yes, things look a little better, they look a little clearer, but unfortunately, I mean, there's only so far you can push that game. The backgrounds, yes, because the backgrounds were detailed. They almost look painted sometimes. But Cloud looks like a blocky weirdo. I mean, Tifa looks like a blocky. It's got polygons.
Like, you can count his polygons. I'm just saying.
How many, Chris? How many fingers does Cloud have on his hands? Spoiler: he doesn't. He's got fucking big orb block arms and hands. I mean, that's
when you can just look at a model and tell how many polygon count used to be a thing. And you back in my day, we used to measure the goodness of the graphics by the polygon count.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody out there has done it, but I mean, if you did like an ultra realistic art piece on the polygon version of Cloud, that would look fucking terrifying. And that's the problem with doing things like this. Like, yeah, in my opinion, yes, you make the graphics look a little crisper, you add a little bit more detail to the backgrounds and all, but there's only so far you can take a lot of these weird 3D polygon enemies and whatnot. But it's out there for you and everybody else to check out if it interests you.
Yeah, so this whole 7 on Switch isn't new. It's been September they dropped the news, and it's not just the Switch, it's Xbox One as well.
Really?
It's just the Switch is getting attention because it was actually shown in a commercial, a little snippet of it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd heard something had come up with it, so that's why I mentioned it.
Yeah.
But
again, don't care.
Apparently they're gonna have a Final Fantasy VII on the Switch. Go around, walk around and play your Final Fantasy VII.
Everything's coming to the Switch, man.
To Kingdom Hearts 3.
Everything's coming to the Switch.
So, real quick, while I'm thinking about it, I know, Michael, you typically don't play phone games very often. What about you, Adam? I
play them mildly often. Just not a whole lot of them, but I kind of go through them really quick.
Sure. And how many of them are, I say percentage-wise maybe, how many of them are multiplayer game?
I've played at least 2 or 3 prominent ones.
Or do you mainly play single player?
Dude, you were into that Clash of Clans for like 4 years, man. I remember that.
Yeah, Clash of Clans. Yeah, I never played
all that
Clash of Clans.
Did you ever tell that story about the hundreds of dollars that you dumped into that game?
Yeah, that was totally me. That wasn't anybody else.
Like close to $3,000 you dumped into that game. Yeah,
it's like I spent like
archers or some shit.
Spent like $30,000 on archers and potions or elixir or whatever it's called. Yeah,
I gotta get my dragons up.
Yeah, you better have dragons in your castle. Now we had a coworker that talked about this game nonstop, and I won't play it on principle. Okay. But yeah, no, I'd say about 50% of the games that I play are multiplayer.
Okay, how many games have you had shut down?
Oh God, I always quit before they get shut down at the very least. But I can't say I've had one get shut down on me. No.
Yeah, one of my main phone games, Dragon Soul. I talked about it a little bit before. It's nothing special to it. It's I don't know even what genre it would fall under. It's a mobile game, so they're kind of hard to place at times. You usually classify them by comparing them to another game. Like Kings of Avalon is a game I briefly played, I say briefly, we played for a little bit, and then we quit it. But then, there are a bunch of games of that style, so when we see a game that's like it, we're like, yeah, it's an Avalon game. It didn't start the genre. It's, but I don't know the proper name for it. But yeah, Dragon Soul, they sent out a thing after pretty much radio silence for the last month. They pushed an update to the game because they said in January was when they were going to pick things back up. Because they kind of took off the holidays, which is understandable, They had an update in early December, I think, and then it was like, yeah, we're going to take, around Christmas and New Year's off, and then we'll pick up updates in January. So the update just dropped like Tuesday, so January's almost over at that point. And then accompanying it at the same time is a message saying, yeah, we're shutting down the game in May. Oh, huh.
So now you should dump a bunch of money on it.
Well, they disabled in-app purchases at the same time.
Do you get the stuff for free?
Can't drop money on anymore.
Can you get this? Oh, these bastards. Not even at the end will they just give you all the crap for free. I would just be like, press the button to get it. For that last month, it'd just be a free-for-all of all max-level characters going at it.
So when Sunday rolls around, it'll be uninstalled when the week of the game ends. Because I'm not going to screw over my guild, in the middle of a war week and stuff. Because that's all I log in and do, the little war fights. Anyways, I was already thinking about quitting. I'm like, okay, guess I don't have to consider it anymore. Uninstall.
I feel like you were telling me something else about something that was getting canceled or quitting here recently. Did you say something about Google Plus or something?
Oh, yeah. I got an email earlier shortly after we started recording from Google saying, your Google Plus account is going to be deleted. I'm like, oh, okay.
What did you do?
Exactly. I was like, is this spam? That's my first thought. This must be spam, and it got past a filter somehow, which is pretty bad since it's a Google thing. But I read and I was like, oh, no, this is Google Plus isn't used, so it's going away. I think the biggest impact for this is going to be YouTube and stuff like that, where you can comment with Google Plus, because all those comments are being deleted.
You're saying you're saying Google Plus is going away?
Yes.
Not just your account. You're saying it's all going away. Wow.
Yes. So Google Plus, and what they're doing is they're basically transitioning to just using Google accounts. So anything you log in with a Google Plus login, you'll just have to now use Google login, which is essentially kind of the same thing. You just had a little bit of a separation there. You lose that layer of separation.
I gotta say, as integrated as Google is, as much shit as they penetrate on the internet, the Google Plus thing, yeah, right. The Google Plus thing never. It always felt like it was somebody just like sticking their hand out of the water, being like, "Hey, I'm here." I never had a use for it. I never really had a use for it. So
I hope they just like integrate the two damn things instead of just canceling it. 'Cause that'd be a pain in the ass if you had one but didn't have the other.
Well, plus it's like Chris said, that's all that shit out there gone. Like that's kind of
They've actually said any comments or things left with the Google Plus accounts will be deleted. Not that they're you can transfer it over to your Google account or something like that. They're like, no, it's just going to be deleted.
This is the great YouTube comment section purge of 2019.
So good.
Man, I feel, go ahead.
It's suddenly all these prominent YouTubers are like, they didn't comment. They liked and subscribed, but they didn't comment. Oh, man. Suddenly,
I feel like
thousands of their comments are going.
We're taking this episode at a downward spiral of negativity, but
that's right.
There was another news article from last week sometime that I forgot about. I wanted to bring up Machinima. For those that don't know, that is a popular YouTube channel that's definitely done a lot around the video game market. Machinima shut down. It's gone. And the curious thing about this, the angering part about this is I haven't verified this myself. And mind you, when I watched this was days ago, so it may have changed since then. But they closed their doors for business. 81 layoffs in California, I believe, because of this. And they made all of their videos private. So they essentially took down all their videos. Yeah. All of their videos were gone. Machinima is a fairly large video game YouTube channel. Has a lot of content out there. And apparently you can't access it anymore.
Damn.
That's fucking crazy. So there's people out there that, get YouTube videos and they put them on hard drives somehow. It's looking like a better idea every damn day.
I saw a MatPat video talking about, I can't remember what they're called, but companies like Machinima are, they're basically little groups of channels. It's like a company that handles channels and does like their copyright information and stuff like that and helps promote these individual YouTubers. Apparently, the one that Game Theory was attached to just went tits up, and the owner just said, nope, took everybody's money and like fucking dipped out. And Matt Pat was like, what an asshole. he had an entire video just dedicated to like trashing his dude. Yeah. It was like, this guy called me when my son was born, and like, you know, and then knowing like the next couple weeks later he was just gonna dip and take all my money. What a bastard. So yeah, they're going to court, and it's something like a couple $1 million in play between all the different channels. Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
Bad it's news crazy. For YouTube. They're getting the comments deleted, and fucking Major Machinima's gone, and Matt Pat got fucked over, and
I don't know if I've ever.
The end of Timecast is on there now.
Yeah. What?
What?
I don't know if I've ever brought this up before, and I hope and pray that someday the audience out there will be able to check it out for themselves. But there was a fairly long-running series that Machinima produced called All Your History Are Belong to Us, and they went through several popular video game franchises, and they were usually trilogies. Like they went through the Halo series, they went through Mario's, Metroid, yada yada yada, and they did some really good, well edited, great detailed, very knowledgeable videos of all these series. I mean, I'm telling you that now, but apparently you can't watch this shit anymore. You can't watch any Machinima videos, but that's the kind of shit that sucks, man. This content is out there. Do you have a video game channel that you watch right now? Is there a popular subscriber that you have? You better find some way to be able to watch them offline.
Yeah, you better save my sweet voice.
Yes,
save it,
because they can go. And if Machinima is just one example of it, they can just be gone. Like it's not that, me and the guys, we all broke up, we're all going our separate ways, we all got different jobs, peace out. Our videos will always be there though. Go ahead, go check it out, enjoy our content. This was no, we're done. The company's gone, people are fired, or laid off, and our videos are gone. So the content's disappeared. That's crazy, man. If you ever get a chance to check out, if you can find it somehow, All Your History Are Belong to Us. I mean, I'll give that as a late shout out to Machinima. They had a lot of good content out there, and that was one of my first Machinima favorites right there. So on that note, what about you, audience? What YouTube personalities or channels or subscriptions do you have out there that you like? Like, do you treat YouTube like a TV at your house? Did you cut the cable but you kept the internet in favor of it? And that's kind of how we do it at our house. We just watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, Netflix, stuff like that. If you do, what are some of your favorite content creators? I realize this has nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts, but that's okay. You can tell us about Kingdom Hearts 3 as well, or Resident Evil, or any new anime series that you've been checking out recently. We would love to hear you talk about your upcoming either interest in or disdain of the next Star Wars movie. If you want to comment and tell Adam he needs to get Kingdom Hearts 3, that's out there. You have a way to do it. Anything at all you'd like to talk about. We'd love to hear feedback from your audience. I cannot stress that enough. We would love to hear from our audience and engage in conversation and read your comments and emails and stuff on the podcast. It is generally one of the biggest reasons why we even started doing this, for the feedback. There are many ways you can get that feedback to us, and Jesus, this fucking list is going to get longer as the show goes on, but as it stands right now, you can find us on Facebook. Just search for Anytime Cast. You can send us a comment, send us a message, whichever way you want to get a hold of us. It may be Facebook, may be how you found this episode right here. We do have a YouTube channel where we are currently uploading all of our videos. We're about to 30-ish now, 33, 34. You can leave comments on any video that you prefer. We have an email. You can email us at endoftimecast@gmail.com. That's endoftimecast@gmail.com. No funny numbers in there. Just spell it just like you heard it. We have a Twitter page. You can tweet us, retweet us. We usually don't really post on there too much, but we do mention our episode uploads on there. We have an iTunes account. You can leave comments on those. We have a Spotify account. You can leave comments on those, and that list will grow. It's going to get to where I can't mention them all, or I'll start doing it really fast, like those crazy fucking super disclaimer people. Like, you can always watch it on the Inner Timecast. Make sure you do that. Maybe I'll get one of those. But in any event, there are many ways for you to get a hold of us, and we'd love to hear from you sometime, somehow, some way. Engage with us, because I promise you, especially at this early stage, even though we're 80 episodes in, it's still early, we will be engaging with you as much as humanly possible. So thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you liked the show and the episode, and we will catch you next time. And until next time, I'm Michael.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Adam.
Good night, everybody.
Fuck you, Mike.